Right, there we go. And hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? We are here for yet another episode of the PlayTest Lab. Why is the cameras being weird again? Ah, Sam! Apologize as my dog attempts to eat my entire body. Letting him drop to the ground. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So, hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of the Playtest Lab here at Wandering Pilgrim Games as we jump into our second episode where hopefully we have solved the tech issues as well as the sound issues from last time. So we do have a somewhat new crop of players now, and my dog is being very annoying, so I apologize. There will be many interruptions because of my puppy, so just be ready for that in advance. So, today we are going to be running a one-shot created by us over here at Wandering Pilgrim Games called Thicker Than Water. So before we jump into the player introductions, let me just give you a little preview of what we're going to be going through. So, let me get ready my movie announcer voice. Let me practice in a world. There it is. Got it. Okay. Deep within the plain of Avernus, across a blasted landscape, sits a massive onyx citadel. Its tower... Come on, Sam! I'm trying to be dramatic. Damn it! Its towers stab up into the burning sky like massive blades of steel. The chained keep, lorded over by Zeglanoth the Keeper, Lord of Shackles, stands ominously as a symbol of pain, fear, and oppression. The wailing screams of long-forgotten prisoners and overworked slaves carry on the hellish wind over the walls to an uncaring landscape. Within the massive citadel, Zeglanoth has with him a particular prisoner. His daughter, Daira, has been ripped away from the mortal planes as being kept against her will. Her sister, Azra, must now gather strong enough allies to plunge forth into the depths of hell, to confront her father Zeglanoth, and free her sister before she is lost to his fiendish corruption. Thanks for ruining the moment, Sam! Okay, yeah. Thank you, Athena. Squeak, squeak, yes. Okay, so, we are going to be playing the one-shot Thicker Than Water, which, for those of you guys who follow us on Patreon, Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff, this is going to be one of the one-shots coming up very soon in the New Blood Anthology, Volume 2, which should be hitting DM's Guild mid to late November. The Volume 1 will be coming out late October, which my partner Tyler, his one-shot will be in Volume 1. So, without any further ado, let's go and introduce ourselves to our players. So, going from left to right on stream, Osh, let's start with you first. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and who you're playing today?
Hey everybody, my name's Oshemi. I started playing D&D in 2000, played about 3 sessions, and then became a GM myself, so it's kind of good to get behind the character sheet again instead of the GM screen. Tonight I am playing the Kenku Blood Hunter named Sandwich. It was the first name that came out when I was thinking about a name for him and kind of liked it, so that's his name for tonight.
I think that's absolutely beautiful, and I am so happy to have a Kenku named Sandwich. I think the fact that you said that's the first thing that came out seems like such a Kenku thing to me, and I love it so much. All right, so Sandrasa, you're next. Want you? I know you were. So Sandrasa was here on the last episode of the Playtest Lab, which will be playing the same character again at a higher level, which I'm very excited about.
I am reprising my role as Bravana Freyrier. We're upping the levels on these guys this time. Before I was level 5, and now I'm a level 8. I am playtesting the Druid of the Realm Shaper. And so I actually get to play around with some new Druid forms, so I'm really excited to give that a go.
Yes. So, for those wondering at home, Sandrasa has been lovely enough to play one of our homebrewed subclasses. So, we're not only playtesting just the one-shot, but also the different classes as well. So, I'm very happy to see it in action. If you are curious about these subclasses, I believe !DM's Guild in the chat will give you a link to all the products we've made so far. And last but certainly not least, Grim, why don't you tell us about yourself and your character?
Hello. As he said, I'm Grim. I've been playing multiple tabletops for seven to 8 years. I started with 2.0 AD&D and 3.5 D&D. This session, I'm playing a War Domain cleric whose name is Philip. I've never played a cleric before, so we're gonna see how this goes.
I'm excited. I used to hate clerics and paladins. I'm like, religious people, lame. But they're so good. They're so good.
I've enjoyed playing paladins since I one-shot someone with a 16 damage divine smite with a rock.
Yep.
Oh, that was a good campaign.
On our one episode of the podcast, Tyler and I had an argument about paladins. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't get them. Like, you shut your goddamn mouth. Paladins are amazing.
Yep. Yeah, that was in one of mine. He did it to a guard to escape. Cracked him over the back of the head.
That is fantastic. Also, I know. So, luckily enough, this is a very special episode of the podcast. My God, of the Playtest Lab. All three of my players are in the same house, which is quite cool.
Not his. We're in our own house.
No, not my house. Not my house. I wish. Here we go. Grim.
Oh, it'd be so much better if it was in his
Grim.
house.
Gotta come up and pop in on all the cameras.
Yep. So
And the other thing is, I have a kid who will occasionally you will hear in the background because it's not her bedtime yet. So you know.
God damn it. All right. Yeah. So there's Grim going from room to room. Love it. Absolutely love it. Also, I know you guys
Stay out of
also.
my studio. No.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I also know you guys run your own D&D game as well. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that at all. Plug that a little bit.
Well, Oshemi is our DM. We have a nice community that we're kind of building, and anyone who wants to play D&D is more than welcome. He runs a homebrew called Binding Light. Do you want to talk about that, hun?
I don't want to share too much because I can't give anything away for my players here. But it's been ongoing for a little over a year now. We play that one every other Tuesday, and the Tuesdays in between, I'm also running the Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which was actually the first full pre-made that I'm running. All the others I've ever run have all been homebrewed.
Very nice.
And then I'm getting ready to take my hand at DMing, which will be fun. I'm doing a Tales of Equestria set in the it's the world of Equestria, which is My Little Ponies, because I'm a pony fanatic. But it's set with D&D classes, rules, monsters, all that kind of thing. That way there's an added depth.
So
yeah, I think we actually we also talked about that. I mentioned that on the podcast the other day about your My Little Pony game. I think that's so cool. Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
For those, if you want to get in contact with them, I mean, obviously, !Discord in the chat, join our Discord, and obviously we can then link you to their Discord as well, where they're doing their own stuff as well. I'm always happy to cross-promote for our fans and our friends. If we don't have anything else, I think without any further ado, I believe we can get started with this episode of the Playtest Lab. So, okay, gotta get prepared. In a world. There it is. Got it. Okay. So, we begin. It's been almost 2 hours since your adventuring party arrived at the tavern. The Drunken Dragon isn't one of the best taverns in Newsham, but it's definitely the most discreet. The storm outside still raged. The sound of the pouring rain and howling winds kept at bay by the thick wooden door and stone walls of the tavern. Only when the door was flung open with every new visitor did the sounds of the tempest flood in. It's within this tavern that you are all summoned as you await your contact. You were given a lead on a job, a simple one it seemed, only having to find someone who needed rescuing. Your contact, only going by the moniker A, instructed you to wait at the Drunken Dragon until their arrival, where they would explain the task further. Finally, you see the door slam open once more, and you see a tall, slender figure enter into the tavern. The figure removes their rain-splattered hood to reveal a pale woman with flowing blonde hair. As she removes her long traveling cloak to reveal somewhat battered plate mail armor, you notice her glance to a young woman behind the bar. The woman then nods in your direction, causing the pale woman to move in your direction. She grabs a tankard off one of the tables as she passes, the occupant seemingly not willing to attempt to stop her. She finally sits at your table, finishes the tankard in a large gulp, and speaks. "Thank you for heeding my call. I'm A. but you may call me Azra. What do you do?
I sip from my wine, and then I look at her. Is everybody sitting at the table? Do we all know each other already?
Yes.
Or
So the three of you have worked a couple odd jobs here and there, and as a unit, you guys were given this lead to meet up with someone who goes by the name A, who had a mission for you to. You were basically told it's a simple rescue mission, in and out. It paid some pretty good money. Shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, sometimes it gets a little funky for connections, whether we know each other or not.
Yes, so you guys do know each other. You've been working together for about the last 2-3 weeks. Not necessarily deep knowledge, but you've been around each other.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. We've been waiting a couple hours now, but I mean, there's some crumbs left of food on the table. Sure, we could get you some more cheese or wine. I got plenty of wine.
She kind of laughs. She goes, I'm truly sorry for the delay. The storm caught me unawares. But yes, I would love some wine, and absolutely, I would love some cheese. You see, she kind of leans back and kind of snaps her fingers twice, and the young woman at the bar kind of perks up a little bit, and you see her rummaging around the counter. She's preparing something. So, are you the ones I'm supposed to be meeting?
Well, your contacts, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy you answered my call. I'm not exactly sure what you've been told so far, but I suppose I should probably give you some more information. And as she talks, the young woman behind the bar comes out with a large tray of small fruits, cheese, crackers, and sets down another bottle of wine and a couple extra glasses. And as Azra takes the wine, pours herself a glass, she also offers it to each one of you in turn. And as she takes a big gulp of her glass, she looks and says, "This has been this is a very difficult ask, but I have a bit of a family trouble that I need help with. My sister's missing, and I know where she is, but I can't go get her through reasons. And I was hoping that you three would be willing to go get her for me and bring her back."
You might want to elaborate on reasons. I mean, I'm all for a good, rescue when the pay is good, but I don't like necessarily throwing ourselves into, unnecessary danger and possible death.
You're right, I suppose. It doesn't behoove me to keep information and make you not prepared. I am Azra. I am the daughter of Zeglinoth, which is a name that most here would not speak out loud. Zeglinoth is a lord in the Hells. Him and my mother, who was a lesser celestial, I never knew her, had myself and my sister, Dayra. For years, Dayra and I have been living a normal, quiet life, and about a week ago, she was gone. We had wards in place, we had protections. They were broken, sundered, and she was taken. I know she was taken by him, by our father, and I know where she is now, but the same wards that kept him away for so long now keep me away. And though I would love to go get her myself, I can't. That's why I need you.
This sounds like a family feud kind of thing. I mean, if your mom and dad, I guess I don't understand the family history. Why can't you just talk to your dad? I know, I'm sorry, I'm new around here and I don't really know all the lore and everything. I just, I don't... If he's your dad, he can't be that bad, right? Because he had you?
Make a persuasion check. Okay. 17, very nice. So as you say, you see this whole time Azra's been very stiff, and she's making eye contact with all of you. You kind of feel like she's holding something back, and as you very sweetly, in the way that only Bree could, you see her her shoulders relax a little bit, and she says, "I understand. You have no stake in this. You have every reason to walk away. I am asking you to literally go into the depths of hell to rescue my sister. It's a sacrifice I would make without a second thought. But I can't. He has magics and wards in place to keep me out, and because of that, my sister suffers every day. You have no reason to accept this. You have no connection to me. This is a family problem, I know that. But without the three of you, I can't save my own sister. I'm powerless. I need your help, please."
Sounds
I mean,
like
we're
fun.
not saying no. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really answer my question either. I mean, because doesn't really tell me why you're not talking with your dad, or why your dad would take your sister, or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, these are kind of things that we might need to know, don't you think?
She kind of leans back and finishes her wine like a big gulp, and then as she kind of slams the glass down, she looks at you and says, "Look at me. My father is a lord of Avernus. I share the celestial blood of my mother." And you see her skin is very pale, and she has a bit of a glow to her almost, and her blonde hair, her hair seems to kind of glow as well, and you feel like you can almost see like the faint outline of like a halo kind of over her head. And she continues, "My sister shares the infernal bloodline of my father. To him, she is his rightful heir. She belongs with him in Avernus. I belong with my mother in Mount Celestia. Unfortunately, I don't. I belong with my sister, and I belong here, and so does she. She doesn't belong in that vile place where I know even now I can't even imagine the things he's doing to her."
Okay, parents divorced, children not happy with custody issues. Got it.
You see, she kind of like, for the first time, she kind of laughs to herself. She says, "Pretty much."
What about you, Bird Boy? You haven't said anything yet.
Families are the compass that guides us.
Okay, where's the compass going?
Bad places.
Alright, we're in.
Not every day we get to storm hell.
That's,
I don't want to storm it. Can we just sneak around, and not get
Have you
incinerated?
seen me? I'm not very good at sneaking.
As you say it, she kind of looks at you. She goes, "Yeah, me too." Clang, clang, and hits her plate armor. She continues and she says, "Now, obviously, I wouldn't send you in completely unprepared. While my father's wards do keep me out of the plane of Avernus, I have learned a way to at least send in some ambassadors close. I can get you to the keep. Other than that, I can't do much else. However, if you destroy his wards, I can come and get you. Or at least I can come assist you."
It was a Miss Chili there.
Yes, it was. My wife came and took the dog.
How's that feel? My wife.
Kiddo's asking for dessert.
It's very weird. Yeah, she's, obviously, I can get you there. If you destroy the wards, I can get you back safely. But I can't go there while the wards are still in place.
Wait. So, do you want us to destroy the wards or save your sister?
Well,
or both?
my sister is paramount, but once you have my sister and you destroy the wards, I can bring you all back.
Ah. Okay.
Once I send you there, you're beyond my grasp.
I understand.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. When do we leave?
So, as you said, she says, wonderful. As her explains, she stands. Meet me at the edge of town tomorrow, and I'll be able to send you to my father's citadel. The rest is up to you. She then turns on her heel and, grabbing another tankard off a table in her path, dons her traveling cloak and heads back out into the storm, still thundering outside. So, as of right now, you guys have until tomorrow morning to meet with her. So, right now, you are currently in the town of Newsham. And since you guys are level 8, you all each have roughly 200 gold on you. And if there are any preparations you would like to make, you can do that. Newsham is a relatively medium-sized city, about probably a population of about 4,000 or 5,000 people. So if you do want to look for something, you can. On your way into town, you did pass through a small market area, which, even though it is kind of later into the night, you know these stores are still open. And the 3 main stores you did see are the Black Cauldron, the Ironclad Armory, and the Elegant Traveler.
Would any of those places have struck me as somewhere to get potions?
Yes. So, you know, when you walked past the Black Cauldron, obviously the sign is a massive black cauldron with a billowing bit of green smoke coming out of it. And looking through the window on your way into town, you did notice that there was many alchemical potions, elixirs, and you could tell that it was some sort of potion shop, specifically just potions.
Well, Bree definitely is gonna go and look for potions for healing and possibly something to help deal with the heat.
Okay. Are you guys going with her, or would you like to go somewhere different?
Is there a church in town?
Yes. Yes, there is. Roll an investigation check. See if you can find it. Okay. So, as you guys leave the tavern, Bree, you're heading towards the Black Cauldron. Philip is looking for the church. Sandwich? Are you going with Bree, Philip, or are you going somewhere else?
That's you, Graham.
Your sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yeah, he said Philip.
No, Philip. I know.
No.
Philip's going to the church.
I'm going to the
Sorry.
church.
I'm going to wander off with Bree.
Okay, so we'll do Philip first. So Philip, you ask around, and it's a little bit darker now. The storm's kind of the rain is pouring a lot harder than it was before. You ask around, and you swear you saw a church on your way in, and you kind of walk around for about 10 minutes before you realize, God, I have no idea where this damn church is. And you kind of get lost for a bit. You eventually do find it. But it does take you about probably half an hour altogether to find it in the end. But as you approach, you see this very large stone building with a very with a tapered roof, and out in front of it, you see the front of it is dominated by this massive hanging lantern.
Good lord. That's new and interesting. Okay. I'm gonna kind of skirt around where the lantern is hanging to get inside.
Wait, the lantern's about 10 feet off the ground, so it's pretty high up there.
I know, but I'm going to go around it.
Okay. So as you walk into the church, it's very quiet. As soon as the doors shut behind you, the noise of the rain and the thunder kind of drown away, and you are left in relative silence as you walk down the aisleway. Not far ahead, towards where the altar is, you do see what looks to be a young man kneeling in front of this altar. Seems to be kind of in prayer.
Okay, I'm going to pull out my holy symbol, and I'm going to do a quick prayer myself.
Okay.
Before I approach the person.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what is your deity? Did you choose one?
No, I have not chosen one yet. I will do that right real quick.
Okay. So for lack of, you would know this having been in town. This is a church to Iona, who is the goddess of death. Hence the lantern out in front, which is her holy symbol.
Okay.
Okay. So while you're figuring that out, as you walk up, you produce your holy symbol. You kneel down. Are you kneeling near the young man or kind of further back?
I'm not really kneeling. I'm gonna do. I'm standing, holding my holy symbol in both hands, head down, as this is someone else's church.
Okay. Okay. So as you walk up, you kind of bow your head, hold your holy symbol, begin to pray. The young man does notice you, but he eventually just goes back to his own prayers. Is there anything else you want to do in the church while you're here?
Is there a designated place for holy water? Like a thing where dispenser or something?
Yes. When you first walked in at the very front of the aisle into the church, there was a small stone bowl of holy water.
Okay. I'm going to produce a few vials, a few small vials. I'm going to take some holy water into it. I'm gonna a donation box somewhere.
Yeah, it would be probably on the wall near it.
I'm gonna drop 3 gold in, as holy water seems very easy to make, but not really.
Okay.
It's very time consuming. I give a slight thanks as the person's still praying, trying not to disturb them, and then I'll leave and go back to the tavern.
Okay. You produce, let's say, about roll a 1d4. Okay, so 3. We'll say you produce 3 vials, so you have 3 vials of holy water. So as you dip them in, you kind of finish the 3rd one, and you see the young man kind of turn to you. You see him about to stand up as he notices you taking the holy water, and you drop the 3 gold in, and then he kind of just nods and returns to his prayers as you take the holy water and you head out.
Awesome.
So let's head back over to Bree and Sandwich. So, Bree and Sandwich, as you eventually find your way to the Black Cauldron, you eventually open the shop, and as you do, you're ding, 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 hear a little bell go off. As you walk in, you do hear a voice in the back. Ah! Hello! Welcome! What can I do for you?
Hi there. I need a couple healing potions, and we're gonna be going into hell, so I could definitely use something that will help me not feel hot. If you have anything like that.
So as you speak, the dark green-skinned half-orc behind the counter kind of looks at you and goes, "Now, do you mean hell as in like, I'm going through hell, or like literal hell?"
Well, I mean, every day is hell, but no, literally,
God.
we're going into hell.
He kind of like, he puts his hand on your shoulder. Are you okay?
I mean, I'm pretty physically well. Mentally, I'm happy as can be, so I don't really know what the question is.
Sure. Okay. All right. Yeah, give me 1 second. And you see as he kind of drops down behind the counter, and you hear the rustling of glass against glass, different vials clinking together. And it's just, and he puts down a large crate full of these small vials of different sizes with a very kind of glowing red liquid. And then afterwards he pulls down 2 more smaller vials of a similar colored red, but much darker in its tone, more of like a maroon color, as opposed to this one, which is like a bright red. Says, well, these are basic healing potions, and these ones are some potions of fire resistance. I've only got 2, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, that's pretty nifty. I wasn't sure if anyone would have anything in this place. How much?
Well, the healing potions run about 50 gold per potion, and the fire resistance potions are about 75 each.
Oh, that we can do that, can't we?
Health is better than wealth.
Exactly. I knew you would understand. So you don't mind picking up the tab, right?
I mean, I like the way he thinks. He
Yeah,
she.
Well,
He kind of looks at Sandwich very confused, having not seen many Kenku before. Okay.
Mike cuts out there. Really.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, he
No, you're
he
fine.
kind of as you're talking, he kind of he looks very confused as he's never really seen a Kenku before, so he's not quite sure what to say.
Teamwork.
Right, teamwork. So pay the good man for all the potions.
How many would you like?
Well, definitely both of your fire resistant, and
Take 2 fire, 1 health.
well, we need more than one. There's 3 of us.
I can't afford more.
Alright, you get the fire and the health. I'll pick up 2 more health. That way we can give it for the churchy guy.
Okay, so we have 2 fire and then 3 healing potions.
Yep.
All right, just give me 1 second. You see, he pulls out a little abacus. He's like, okay, let's see. So 2, okay. So it'd be 300 gold altogether.
And Bree takes out 100 and puts her share on the counter.
Okay, and he
And
takes 100.
Sandwich just puts his whole coin pouch up there with the 200 in it.
All right, so he takes the 100 and pushes the 2 healing potions towards you, Bree. And as he takes the pack, he pushes the rest towards you, Sandwich, and begins to count. And he goes, sorry, you gave me a little bit too much there. And he actually hands you back the extra, which would have been 50. He hands you 50 back.
Bree reaches over and grabs one of the fire and puts it in her bag.
Well,
Okay, so that means 1 fire for you and a health for you, 1 fire for me, a health for me, and then we'll give the other guy a health potion.
Philip.
Yeah, Philip, you're so good. I can never remember anyone's names.
Names are important.
I mean, is it really so much the name versus who they truly are on the inside? I mean, for all we know, he could be a rotting flower.
So he looks at you. Is there anything else I can get you?
Not unless you have something that could help us magically get into hell and back again.
Again, you mean literal hell, right? Like not like just
I
getting
mean-
like, oh, we're gonna get into hell, like start a fight. Like you mean literal, like.
I mean, I don't know what is so hard of understanding of we're going to hell. It isn't like, oh, we're going over
Who just
to
goes
hell
to hell? Why is
packet.
that normal?
I mean, if I was gonna go to the bakery down the street, I would say I'm going to the bakery down the street, not.
You
I'm
can't say
hell
going to the bakery is the same as going to hell. Who just walks into a store? Hey, going to hell today. See you later. Like you're going to hell.
I think you're just jealous. I think you should come with us.
No. And he's like, okay, no, and he kind of like starts pushing you guys out of the store. No, thank you.
Well,
Please.
we'll see you when we get
Oh.
back from hell.
Okay, bye. He kind of shoves the 2 of you out of the out into the rain and just closes the door. You see him flip the sign to closed.
I love where Bree has grown. This is fucking great. I love it.
You guys torment my shopkeepers.
No, we made a friend of your last shopkeep. I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
we were his best friend.
From on the wind, you hear someone say, "Good luck, best friend."
Yay!
Okay, so you have your potions, Grim. You have your vials of holy water as well as your small meditations. If there's anything else you guys want to do tonight, let me know. Otherwise, you can return to your rooms above the Drunken Dragon, and you can meet with Azra in the morning.
Is this a hilly kind of area around the town, or what kind of scenery is it?
Is it a what kind of area?
Hill.
No, it's relatively flat. Where you're at now, the district you're in is Dockside, which is obviously near the docks. The Drunken Dragon is literally directly off the edge of the docks where the sailors come in and out, so that's why it is such a crowded area. So the area you're in with the marketplace is right next to it, and then the tavern is in Dockside.
Alright, I would probably try and find a quiet area, preferably like in a clearing in the nature just outside of town. Is it like my goddess is the goddess of the moon, Selene?
Yes.
So if it's like a night where I can see the moon or anything like that, I'd probably go out and meditate for a little while.
Okay. So it's very rainy, a little overcast. As you do make your way outside of town, directly outside town is the edge of the edge of the forest, and it is a little bit more hilly outside of town. Eventually, you do find a pretty open clearing, and there is a couple moments where the rain subsides for a bit and the clouds part, and you are able to see the moon, but it's very fleeting. But you do have a moment if you want to see the moon during your meditations.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Just kind of meditate towards the moon and think about what we're about to do, and
Okay. Make a religion check for me. Okay. So, as you are sitting here in this clearing, you sit there for a few moments, and eventually you do see as the rain comes and goes, and eventually the moon does come out, and the rain comes back again. Eventually, as you're sitting, the rain subsides, and you see the light of the moon glow a bit brighter. And as you kind of open your eyes, you do see that the moon itself is brighter, but for some reason the area around you is where it's the brightest. And you feel this very warm feeling in your chest as you kind of reach out to the spirits of nature, asking for some bit of protection. And you feel like you're not sure what, but something hurt you. And it's a pretty good feeling.
awesome.
Okay. So unless there's anything else you guys would like to do, you guys all head back to the Drunken Dragon. You guys go to sleep. You eventually wake up the next morning. And as you wake up, you guys eventually do head out towards the city limits where Azra instructs you guys to meet. So, as the sun rises over the city limits, you see your first sight of Azra, not far from the edge of the city walls. Approaching her, you eventually find her standing in the midst of a large sigil drawn across the ground. A large spear protrudes from the ground in the very center of the sigil, as Azra stands next to the spear, seemingly reading from a small book. As you approach, she looks up to greet you. She closes her book, returns it to a pouch at her side, and smiles. Good morning. Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Ready as we'll
hell.
So, as you all say you're ready, she looks to you and says, now listen, I can get you to the very edges of the keep. Once you're there, until you destroy the wards, I cannot help you. I want you to all be prepared as best you can. And she lays a hand on each of you, and you feel this, Philip, you especially, you recognize this as some sort of divine energy, and each one of you receives a use of the spell Bless. So I believe Bless is, you add a d4 to any attack roll or save.
Attack roll or saving throw.
And I believe it's the next 10 minutes, I want to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 10 minutes. So for the next 10 minutes, you guys...
I think it's constant, too.
Yes. So she touches all three of you, and you feel this energy kind of pulse through your veins. And for the next 10 minutes, you guys can add a d4 to your to any attack roll or saving throw.
Water bottle around here somewhere.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so so eventually, as you do that, she kind of backs up and she lets you guys all stand in the middle of this large sigil drawn on the ground. Damn it, Mercer.
Okay,
So,
Matt Mercer.
I know. So as you all stand within the circle, you see Azra's eyes begin to glow a very soft yellow. She begins to read from her small book, her voice booming out into the empty clearing. The air fills with the smell of ozone as the hairs on the backs of your necks all stand on their ends. As Azra's voices rise to this crescendo, she raises her hand to the sky as it starts to glow a bright, vibrant yellow-orange. In a flash of movement, she slams her hand down onto the ground, causing the lines and runes on the ground to flare with bright light. For a second, it seems like the spell doesn't work, until the ground around you splits and sunders as you feel yourself falling for only a moment. When you gather yourself and shake the dizziness out of your eyes, you are met with a literal hellscape. You have reached Avernus, and in front of you lies a massive black onyx citadel. Its towers pierce the sky, and the low, mournful sounds of crying and wailing carry on the wind. You have arrived at the Chained Keep.
I meant to ask her what we should do if we don't break the wards and we have to try and get home some way.
I think we're screwed at that point.
Yeah.
However, I want to claim this castle in the name of Bane, so let's go.
Want to do what?
Claim the castle in the name of Bane.
The name of Bane? Who's Bane? I thought your name was Philip.
My name is Philip.
Why wouldn't you claim it in the name of Philip?
Because I'm claiming it for my god, Bane.
Oh. Well, that's boring.
You're boring.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not. And Bree just kind of skips along.
Okay, so as you begin to skip through hell, so you eventually move up closer to the Citadel. I need everybody to make perception checks for me. Okay, so Philip and Bree, as you guys head closer, so Sandwich, you feel your senses kind of overwhelmed as you look around. Just you feel these howling hot winds, and just you feel the burning of embers popping up from the ground all around you. You feel yourself having to kind of strengthen your grit to keep going. Bree and Philip, however, you look ahead through the shimmering heat that rises up off the ground. You see the opening, the entryway of the Chained Keep, and out in front of you, you see a few figures seemingly milling around with two beasts that seem to be kind of guarding around with them, that almost from this distance it's hard to make out, but they look as if they have jutting spikes coming off their backs and from the back of their neck down their spine.
I don't want to pet that puppy.
I do. I want to ride it in the battle. Let's go.
I mean, those spikes would probably poke you in places you don't want to know.
Arcana check to see what they are?
Sure. Also, Bree, with your 20, you do notice that the 5 sentries, as you can tell from this distance, the 5 sentries in front of the keep, they seem to kind of gather, speak for a minute, and then they all kind of break off, and a group of 3 begins to head towards the opposite side of the Citadel, as if they are on some sort of patrol heading away from the main gate.
Okay. Leaving the 2 in the front.
So leaving the 2 and the 2 beasts.
Right. And there's no beasts with the other 3.
No, the other 3 are going off by themselves. So, Philip, you look at these beasts and kind of thinking back. Actually, you know what? Make a religion check, because I think that would be
okay.
Okay. So you look at these beasts, and your first thought in your head is like infernal creatures, filth, disgusting, and that thought fills your mind, and you can't really focus enough to figure out what they are. All you're concerned with, these are infernal creatures. They are an abomination, and seeing them fills you kind of with this divine anger.
Can we tell what the humanoids are? Like, are they... I assume they're not human.
Make another perception check.
Okay. Nope.
It's... You kind of squint your eyes a little bit, and again, those shimmering heat waves rising off the ground, like... They are definitely humanoid. You gather that much.
Right.
But in terms of human, tiefling, half-orc, dragonborn, it's too far, and the images are so distorted from those heat
Right.
waves, it's just hard to tell.
Hey, Sandwich. Did you remember to ask the shopkeep how long those potions of the heat resistance kind of last for?
Nope.
I really should remember to ask these questions. Let's do now that probably should have remembered to ask.
Survival is nothing more than recovery.
Chili, I've got a question.
I have an answer.
A couple of my spells deal one type of damage or another,
Yes.
depending on whether I'm evil or good.
Yes.
I am lawful evil. Am I evil or good?
Oh. That's
Lawful
interesting.
evil means evil.
Yeah, you are evil. So
Okay.
I believe you would deal necrotic damage then.
Yes. Got it.
Yes. Wow. A lawful evil character. I like it.
Bane is a lawful evil god.
I like it. I've said this before on the podcast we record. I've said it before many times. I love lawful evil characters. I think they are so amazing. That makes me happy.
If they're played right.
If they're played right, yes. Evil is a very weird thing, and it must be
I
played
mean,
correctly.
neutral could be a really fun, if you played it right, because it doesn't necessarily mean you don't. I'm going into a tangent. I'm not going to do that right now.
That would be more of a podcast discussion.
Yes. Okay. So, excuse me as I try to plug this thing back in. But yes. So as of right now, you guys see the guards up ahead of you. So at this point, the three on patrol have since moved on. And so far, you still see there are 2 sentries in front with these 2 beasts that you so far cannot identify.
Well, if we wait long enough, the 3 will go around. And do we want to try and find a side entrance, or do we just want to take on the couple that are in front of us and try and go in the front gates? I'm just concerned about going through the front gates and kind of like alerting the entire keep that we're here.
A keep like this, there is no silence. In a place like this, there is no silence. So I think our best chance is to go forward and kill and claim.
All right. Yes.
To
Okay.
survive, it is often necessary to fight, and to fight, you have to dirty yourself.
I mean, I play in the dirt almost every day. I think I'm dirty enough.
Then time to fight.
All right. And Bree pulls out her dagger.
Okay. So, as you guys head further towards the keep, eventually you get to a point where you are roughly about 60 feet away from these sentries. Are you guys going stealthily? Are you guys just walking ahead?
I think we're gonna try and go as stealthily as we can, unless Philip is like.
I just saw Philip shaking his head.
That's fine. He can be the distraction. Bree is gonna try and blend as much as someone with a bright green hair in hell can blend into.
I can try and go stealth. Let's see how this goes. I have disadvantage.
Okay. So, you guys begin to move forward, attempting to be stealthy, as Philip takes a step, and you see he kicks a couple rocks ahead of him that kind of kick ahead, and his armor kind of clanking together. Eventually, the 2 sentries in front of you produce these weapons that they look to have a small black onyx handle with a chain that goes down into a massive spiked ball.
Ooh,
And they
I
look
want
at
one of those.
and they look at you. Halt! Who goes there? And you see the 2 beasts with them begin to growl as these spikes on their back flare up, kind of like if you imagine like a porcupine, like if when its spikes kind of flare up a little bit to make it look bigger.
Hi there! And I kind of just stand up since this is not gonna go well anyway. My name's Bree. What's your name? And I cast Charm Person at the person who said who goes there.
Okay, so that's a Wisdom saving throw. Let's Make a wisdom save for them. Okay, a 5 will probably not beat your spell DC. So you see the one that, now being close, you see this one does resemble what you would know as a tiefling, with this very deep purple skin and these black horns that one curls almost straight up, the other one curls into a semicircle behind him. As he kind of lowers his chain a little bit. Varn, what do you... I'm Sentry Guard, Varn, what are you doing here? As you see
You're really handsome, Varn.
As you see the sentry next to him, what are you doing? And he goes, stop, it's fine. Thank you. And you see him kind of straighten his armor a little bit. So, what brings you down here? And the guy's like, are you kidding me? He's like, just shut up.
We don't get many like you up on the surface. Maybe later we could have some drinks.
Well, I'm on the surface every once in a while, but I like to stay down here where I like to kick it down here. If you say, he's like, what are you saying? Stop it! And you see the two beasts kind of look back at him like, and just seem very confused. Well, I would love to take you up on some drinks. Is that why you came here?
Well, I've never been here. I mean, I kind of usually dabble with a little bit more greenery, and I really love the moon. Having strolls in the forest under the moon is really just, yeah, that's kind of like my favorite thing to do. But I've never been to hell, and I heard this was kind of an interesting place, and I wanted to see what the locals had to offer.
Oh, well, you see him again you see his shoulders kind of like go back a little bit as he kind of stands up a little bit straighter. Well, this is quite an interesting place. Obviously, we don't have a moon. And you see he points up, and if you can just imagine that, like, that smash cut where it's like a scream as it shows this flaming sky, and then smash cut back again. Like, so we don't have a moon. But, I mean, things can really heat up down here. And you see the other guard go, God damn it! And just, he's like, would you stop? He's like, look, listen, just go help the patrol. I got this. And he's going to attempt to persuade the other guard to go on patrol. Okay, a 17 will do it. So, as he looks, the other guard's like, oh, come on, Spike. And you see him start walking away, and one of the beasts kind of lumbers off with him. Like,
Spike.
and you see he kind of, he turns and puts it, he fully stows his chain. And you see him kind of like try to do that really cool lean against this beast. And for a second, he's like, oh, and like it kind of pokes him a little bit, and he kind of regains his composure again.
Oh, that had to have hurt. Are you okay?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm totally fine. And you see him like, you can tell he's trying not to rub where it was just poked. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm totally cool.
I've never seen a creature like this before. What are they called?
Oh, these are Lord Zeglanoth's personal beasts. We just call them hell beasts.
Well, that doesn't sound very friendly.
Well, they're not. They're meant to rip the souls from their enemies and leave nothing but a charred corpse.
Aren't you afraid of it attacking you?
Well, I mean, no. And you see, he kind of looks at it. You wouldn't attack me, right? And the hell beast kind of looks at him. He does that.
Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't look exactly the friendly kind.
He's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. So, I mean, did you just come here to see the sights? I mean, no one really comes to hell to look around.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not your typical kind of gal.
Clearly. And you see, he tries to like raise an eyebrow at you, and like, it's not great. It's not good. You can tell that whatever this person was in their mortal life is just like he's very just awkward and doesn't really understand how to operate around other people.
So, like most men, then.
Yes, indeed. And he kind of gestures to the wall behind him. He's like, "Well, this is the Chained Keep. This is the citadel of our Lord Zeglinoth."
You keep saying that, and I've actually never heard of this person. Like, what's his big deal? Like, why is he the Lord and say not you?
Oh, Lord Zeglinoth, the Keeper, Lord of Shackles. Well, he...
Lord of Shackles? That sounds kinky.
Well, it's... listen, okay, listen. We do not kink shame in the Chained Keep, okay? It's fine.
I mean,
just...
if this is that kind of a place, I think I came to the right place right?
As you say that,
Sure.
you notice now, looking at his armor, there are intricate chain designs across his armor, and you see him kind of like awkwardly covering some of them, and like it's fine, like just chains, they're not weird, okay? It's just that's his thing.
No, I think chains are a good time if they're done properly.
At this point, I kind of look at Sandwich, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
I would like you to make a... What the fuck check is this? Make a persuasion check with advantage, as you are just... He's just getting very awkward, and I kind of want to see how he's going to respond to all this. So, Bree... Yeah. Okay. So as you keep talking, you see his deep purple skin does get a little bit red under his cheeks, as he's like, well, I mean...
Sorry, am I making you uncomfortable?
No,
I'm sorry.
no. I work in the hell. I've seen a lot worse. It's fine.
Well, maybe you could give us a tour. I mean, if it is that kind of a place, right? I'm sure there's plenty of places where, we could talk.
Well, and as you say that, the hell beast kind of walks up and puts himself between you and the sentry and kind of, it's like, well, I would love to, but I can't leave my post. But if you want to wait inside, I'll be done soon, and then we can talk there. Would that be okay?
5 minutes soon, or like you have 15 minutes to your shift soon, or I should probably...
I mean, the patrol that... We just had a patrol leave. They'll be back around in about 20 minutes, and then I can just yeah. Oh, come on.
Sure.
And you see he turns, and he begins to kind of pull this massive bar that begins to open the doors as they kind of swing inward. They open up to about maybe a 10-foot opening. And you can see within, he says, "Let's just wait inside. Once they come back, I'll be in right after."
Sure, sounds good. And I get a piece of parchment out of my bag, and I write, Bree, write me, and I give him, a general, location of where I can be found, and I kind of tuck it into his chainmail, and I go inside.
Okay, so first off, as you tuck it into his chainmail, you do notice that your fingers feel a little hot as you touch the actual chainmail.
Ooh.
But you do drop it, and he goes... He kind of just turns around as the doors begin to close. And you hear him... Before the doors fully close, you hear him go, "Where the fuck is that patrol?" And you're... Okay. So,
Or one for Bree.
All right. Well, the way to get around the counter. All right. So, as the massive steel doors slam shut behind you, you're presented with your first sight of the Citadel's interior. Banners honoring the Lord of Shackle cover the walls as infernal sigils. God damn it, Mercer. As infernal sigils and markings adorn the only open spaces on the room. The alien decor threatens to drive you insane with its crude shapes and form. Small torches hang in the corners of the room, bathing the area in a dark reddish glow. Looking straight ahead, you notice a long hallway stretches out onto the darkness. The Chained Keep lies before you. So, as of right now, you guys are currently in the entryway of the Citadel. And if you guys will just give me 1 second, I can put you guys on the correct map.
Sounds good. I need a minute anyway to take care of the kiddo.
No problem. There we go. There it is. Okay, sorry. I haven't used Roll20 in a while, so I got to remember how to do all the different commands. All right, turn on. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, and then we reveal this area here. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to jump to this thing here, and then we can do this so y'all in stream can see the map. Oh crap, I forgot you. So stream can see the map as is, but deal with it, stream. Okay, so you guys are currently in the entryway, which as you look around, it's a 30-foot by 15-foot room. Again, there are these small torches in the corners that seem to be, make sure I'm on the right map. There we go. Okay, so they give off this kind of very dull reddish light. If you could imagine a redstone lamp from Minecraft, it's sort of that same kind of light source.
Okay.
And again, there's just different symbols and these runes carved into the walls with these banners. And like, as you look at them, so Sandwich, you look at them and you almost feel kind of sick looking at them. Excuse me. Philip? You're cool. All right, symbols, whatever. Obviously, being of an evil alignment, it doesn't have an effect on you as much as it would someone else. But you do see this room, and in front of you are 2 stone doors that are already opened up, and you see ahead of you, which I can actually reveal that too, because you would be able to see that.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
What is this thing?
What is what thing?
This weird creature.
Me.
That is Sandwich.
What?
That is
That's
Sandwich the Kenku. Okay.
That is
So-
a Kenku.
Yes. So
Definitely thought that was a monster.
no.
Definitely
So,
thought that was a monster.
So looking straight ahead, you do see into the hallway. Roughly about 10 feet beyond the doors into the hallway, you see there's a door on the left side of the hallway and a door on the right. And then a further 20 feet ahead of that, you do see the outline of 2 more doors, both on either side of the hallway. And you see the hallway does continue further into darkness.
Okay.
Although, Philip, you are a human, so you see the first 2 doors. You do not see the second 2 doors.
Yes, I am a variant human.
Yes. So I will put Bree on the map for a second. Where's Bree? There's Bree.
I actually do not have dark vision. Oddly for a Raven character, but
Okay, so then you guys only see the first 2 doors, and Bree sees the second set of doors. But again, they are. Oh, actually, let me delete this because I feel like if I leave this character on, you can't move it, Syndrasa. So I'll let you pull your character on yourself.
Okay.
You do see. So Bree, you see the 2 doors 10 feet ahead of the doorways out of the entryway, as well as 20 feet beyond that. You do see 2 more doors on either side of the hallway. However, Sandwich and Philip, you only see the first 2 doors.
Okay.
So, how would you guys like to proceed forward?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I got us through the front gate without any issue. It's your guys' turn to pull your weight around.
So these 2 doors up here are open?
Yes, they are currently opened
Okay.
up.
I'm gonna come up to this door. What do you say we just go room to room and figure out what's going on? Try and find this lady.
I mean, if she's being kept against her will, don't you think she'd be in some dark, damp, flame-encrusted dungeon?
Probably not, because she is the daughter of the owner of the
Oh, that's true. She did say that the sister was
the
like the
owner.
rightful heir.
Yeah.
so locked away in a tower somewhere.
That is
I
fantastic.
remember stories of that.
Yeah. Yeah, something
Not a
similar.
princess.
This is a lord, close enough.
He's got a point.
I know, but this is like the Lord of Kink Shaming. I don't know.
God damn.
Wait, the guard said there was
God damn
no
it!
I know, but this is hell. I mean,
Lord,
they say
king
there's no
shaming.
king shaming, but you can't be a celestial if you're from the, I don't know.
That's
There's
not
enough
kink
going on.
shaming, though. That's just racist.
A lie told often enough becomes the truth.
See,
What?
our boy knows.
Fuck. God damn it.
Screw it. I opened the door.
Okay, so you open the door. Let me
Really
just
regrets so many things in his life now.
There we go. Okay, I fixed it there. All right, so as you open the door, let me zoom in this real quick. Now I actually have the correct map set up. Let me reveal something for you here. All right, so actually before I reveal, let me do a little bit of reading. So now, are you like just opening the door loudly? You kind of opening it quietly?
I'm not. It's not quietly, but it's not loudly. I'm
Okay.
just like regularly opening a door.
Okay, so as you open the door, so as you enter this large room, the first thing you notice is a small group of sentries who seem to be looking at the small arrow slit along the far wall. You gather the room is some sort of post for the sentries to guard the front gate. Scanning around the rest of the room, you see the same type of insignia and markings as the entryway adorning the walls. Within the middle of the room sits a large metallic stand filled with different assortment of weapons, both melee and ranged. While you think they may have seen you enter the keep from this vantage point, at the moment the sentries seem to not notice you as you enter the room. So I'm going to reveal this room.
Oh, that's neat.
And so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you currently see. Zoom in a little bit further there. There we go. So you currently see those 3 guards.
Okay. Are any of them actively armed, or is it all in that rack thing?
So as of right now, you do notice that each one has a short bow on their back, as well as a what's the word I'm looking for? They have short swords on their hips.
Okay. So I see 3 of them. Where is that weapon rack in relation?
So the weapon rack, let me draw a little shape for you, make it a little bit easier. The weapon rack is there.
Okay, so it's not a small weapon. Got it.
No.
A lot more than 3 people's worth of weapon. Got it.
Yes.
I'm going to walk the rest of my movement in, as well as I'm going to cast this. No. Yes. I'm going to.
Okay, Spirit Guards, very nice choice. So, as you walk in, eventually the 3 guards do manage to kind of turn to you and go, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And as they say that, you do end up managing to get your spell off. Give me 1 second. Let me just.
It's wisdom save of 12, I believe.
Yes. All right. So wisdom saves of 12. So. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so the 2 closest to the far wall managed to save, but the one here, fails. So
Okay.
so
that's
is it half damage if they fail, or is it just nothing?
it's half damage if they succeed, full damage if they don't.
Full damage. Okay, beautiful. So
And they only take the damage if they're 15 feet close to me, or
that's
when
right.
you walk into it.
okay, let me just double check some distances here. I think they're all okay. So this one's out of range, but he succeeded anyway. So this one failed. So he's going to take the full 11.
11
And then-
necrotic.
Yes, let me just double check something. Yeah, okay. And the other one's going to take, I believe it's 5, or is it 6? 6, because it's rounded up.
Yep. And I can designate any number of creatures I can see to be unaffected.
Okay.
Because I kind of casted it as I was walking through. Sandwich will not be affected by it.
Okay. All right. Let me also give them some colors to make this a little bit easier. So we're going to have red, blue, and green. So red took the full damage, green took the half, and blue was unaffected.
Okay.
Okay, so having gotten the spell off, now I would like y'all to... Where did it go? Roll initiative. Yes.
Do-do-do.
Wow,
He
so
does
bad.
not want to fight.
Okay. All right, now let's... So, Bree, you are going to be first.
Ooh, yay. Okay.
So, as of right now, you saw ahead of you, you saw Philip turn the corner, and you heard this kind of pop of some sort of arcane, or not, sorry, divine energy. As even from even from there, since it's within 15 feet, in the hallway, you see these kind of spectral figures rise up out of the ground. Which, by the way, Philip, what kind of figures appear with your spirit?
They are,
guides?
because I am evil, they are fiendish spirit.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you see these
So I
fiendish...
wouldn't know if they're friendly or not, if they're fiendish in
I was
hell.
just gonna say that. Please make a straight up intelligence save.
Okay,
Or
a
is-
save?
Sorry, intelligence. Yeah, it's fine. Save's fine. Okay, yeah, so you're fine. You see these figures, and for a moment, being in hell, being in this area, your brain thinks more enemies, but then you realize you've traveled with Philip for a while, and you these are just his. That's his thing.
That's his thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So you recognize these as some sort of magic that Philip is producing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to... I can get it. I come in... Really here in the corner.
Wisdom save.
What?
So he did not designate you as
I couldn't see you when I casted the spell, so I was not able to designate you as a person that was unaffected by this.
So you just make a wisdom save as you enter into his yeah, you're fine. So you would take
That's 20 for the win.
6.
yeah. So you would take 6 necrotic damage as you walk through these spirits, as these fiendish, devilish figures kind of lash out at you as you move through them.
This spell, I
I thought these were
apologize.
friendly! Philip, what the hell's going on? Ow!
An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant or 3d8 necrotic damage for the lasting of the duration, which is 10 minutes.
It's a nasty spell, man. That's why I like clerics. Although here's
Concentration, though, right?
honestly, if you want, I will allow you to have been able to designate her as safe.
No, I like where this is going. You
Okay.
know, we'll play it by the thing because it's funnier that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bree's a little ticked, and so she's just gonna I'm gonna tidal wave in the room.
Okay. Well, that is a thing. That's a thing you can do. So they're making dex saves. So we're gonna go for red. Okay, red succeeds. Green fails. What's your spell DC?
15.
Okay, so green and blue fail. Red succeeds with a 19. So are they pushed back as well?
Knocked prone.
Knocked prone.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
so,
they succeed, it's half damage, not prone. If they fail, it is full damage and prone.
Beautiful. Okay, so boop, boop, and then minus 12.
It's kind of really puny damage because that was 48.
Okay. So you see as Bree enters the room and begins summoning her magics. As she
Philip's
does.
gotta make that save too.
Oh.
I do.
Okay. A little
What is it?
interparty
Dex?
conflict in
Dex
hell.
save?
Loving it. All right, so you save,
6.
so you would take 6 bludgeoning damage. Things
We're
are
even
heating
now,
up in
Philip.
hell. Get it? Do you get it? All right, so I'll use the net for prone. Okay, so prone. Okay, so as you move your arms around and channel this energy, you see this water begin to kind of pull out of your skin, and you see it almost beginning to evaporate with the heat coming off of this whole area. But you manage to kind of grit and hold it hard enough that when you release, this massive wave just erupts out of you, knocking over the 2 guards by the wall, and battering both Philip and the guard on the far side, who managed to still keep their ground. Anything else in your turn?
No, I think that's gonna be it this time.
Okay. That will bring us to Philip.
Move over to there.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit him.
8 is a miss.
I think that's the damage. That is the.
No, that was your
Maybe?
attack.
Oh, that is my
Yep.
attack. That makes me sad.
So, as you begin to run forward, you're already in your attack movements as this tidal wave kind of hits you in the back, and you manage to kind of sturdy yourself. But as you're bringing your warhammer down, it hits where he was.
I'm gonna be this guy. I was supposed to do that before you told me whether it hit or not.
You also
But
have the blessed.
I do have the bless.
Yes, you do. So you could roll the d4 as well.
Or R. 4.
Okay, so with that, as you step forward, kind of off balance, you feel your holy symbol begin to glow a little bit as you manage to correct your aim as this hammer, boom, just collides right with this guy's breastplate. Roll your damage.
Alright.
Should just click on the Warhammer one-handed.
Yeah.
Can I?
Mhm.
This is so weird.
Okay.
There it goes.
8 bludgeoning. So math. Time to do some math, yeah. Okay. So, as you manage to slam your warhammer down, you catch him right in the upper part of his chest as the breastplate actually kind of cracks a little bit under your hit. He is not looking great. Anything else in your turn? Any bonus action, or was that your bonus action, the divinity?
Actually, that isn't technically bonus. Make your attack roll. You can use channel. It's not a bonus action according to this.
Okay.
But no, I have no other thing to do.
Okay. So, that will bring us now to the guards. And the first thing that they do, the green guard is going to
Roll a
stand.
wisdom save.
That is true. They all start the turns in there. So we'll do red first. Red fails. Green. What was the DC again?
12.
12. So green succeeds and blue fails. So why don't you re-roll that damage for me?
8.
11. Okay, so red fails. So good God, red is not looking great. And then, so that was a 6 math. Okay, and then this one is also 11. Okay, so they're all so as they begin to kind of move and especially those two begin to stand up, these hellish creatures, spiritual, spectral things begin to lash out and begin to tear into these guards as they begin to kind of stand up and raise their voices. So let's see. So they are now no longer prone as they stand up. And they are actually going to... They drop the bows and they produce the same weapon you saw the guard in front have. And blue has just enough movement to get to you. And green is going to get to Bree. So red and blue are going to both attempt to hit you, Philip. So they both get 2 attacks. So red. So as the first one, the guard pulls out his weapon, and he already has his blood is kind of pouring from the side of his mouth. His head's been bashed already, and you see him soaked from the water that's been hitting him, and he attempts to hit you with a chain flail. And as he does, you can tell that he's already running on fumes as he whiffs so wildly, and the chain actually kind of embeds into the ground for a second, and he spends his second attack pulling it back out again. And that's going to bring us to the blue one, who's going to also swing at you, Philip. Oh, damn it. I think those probably both miss. Does a 15 hit you?
No.
Does a 19 hit you?
Yes, but I'm going to cast Shield of Faith as a reaction.
Okay. I thought Shield of Faith was a bonus action.
Pretty sure Shield of Faith is a...
Because Shield is a reaction.
Is Shield of Faith... It might be.
Well,
One bonus action. You're right. One bonus action.
Do you want to have casted that as your bonus action last time?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll take that. I'll take that one.
Okay, so you are going to then take... you take 6 points of piercing damage and 4 points of fire damage as this
So
chain
10?
flail. Yes. So as this flail impacts into your armor, and you see these weapons and even their armor seem to be kind of glowing this very dull orangey red, almost as if it's been freshly taken off of a blacksmith's forge. All right, and then the green one is going to attack you, Bree.
How rude.
That's a 12 and a 22.
The 22 will hit.
Okay, so that's going to take, that's not great, 4 points of piercing damage and 5 points of fire damage, so 9 overall. As again,
9 total.
this flail hits you and begins to kind of wrap around you for a second, and you feel the burning from the chains before it eventually releases.
Ouch! These are crackers.
Okay, that will take us to Sandwich.
Sandwich is finally going to step around the corner.
Okay.
And as stepping into the room, reaching down by his sides, drawing his rapiers, sliding them both on the inside of his arms to draw a little bit of blood.
Nice.
Reducing my health by 16 points as I trigger both of them. With the Crimson Rite of Frost. And proceed to make 2 attacks on the one nearest. Both of which I will have to add a d4 if they hit.
They both hit. So that's against green.
That is against green
Okay,
with both
and then
of
you're
them.
adding your
Plus an additional 5 cold
Okay, so 9,
damage.
15 to 20 altogether. Okay, so as you, in this very amazing display of, as you see the rapiers cut against the underside of Sandwich's feathers, as they come out, you see the blades begin to grow frost along the edges, and as he brings them out, he kind of cuts them both aside, and as you do, your frozen blades collide with this heated armor, and in this almost explosion of steam, this creature in front of you, his armor is just rented open, and you cut into him so deeply that you see this frost begin to cover his entire body as he falls to the ground and shatters into a couple pieces as you have slain him. God, I love blood hunters. Blood hunters are amazing. Okay. Any bonus action? Oh, no, the bonus action was the rights, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, on initiative count 20, something happens. Okay. And that brings us to Bree. Your turn.
Okay.
Wisdom save. Sorry.
10?
Yep,
Yes.
every
You
time.
You are
It
still
lasts for 10 minutes.
okay.
Yeah,
Another nat 20.
20.
So you take 5. Again, as you keep this fight up, you see these spectral creatures turn back to you again and begin to try to just claw at you with their spectral claws as you kind of block most of it, but some of it does indeed get through.
Bad fiends, bad.
Sorry, not sorry.
And I am going to... Yeah. Seeing what Sandwich just did to the green guard, Bree is going to cast Frostbite on Blue.
Okay. So it's a con save. Okay, so that will save. Is that half?
It's a cantrip, so nothing.
Okay. All right. So you reach your hand out as this energy explodes out, and you see this cold energy come out, and as soon as it hits his armor, you see the cold meeting the hot, and instead of it doing the same damage, it kind of just kind of explodes into a little puff of steam.
Dang it! Thought there was enough water in his armor. Oh, wrong. I'm gonna cast Healing Word as my bonus action.
Okay.
Do that at a second level on myself.
Okay. So you cast a spell and you feel a bit more energy pour back into your body. You feel a little bit more reinvigorated. And then that will bring us to Philip.
Philip.
Damn it, Philip.
Boop.
That will hit, absolutely.
Red.
Okay. Okay. So you, again, this time, as you steady yourself, taking the hammer, and you bring this hammer down as it collides with the soft spot right in the side of his neck above his breastplate, and you hear this sickening crack as the hammer breaks his neck as he just falls limp to the ground, as you have now slain this god. Okay. Any bonus action?
No.
Okay. So that is going to bring us to the last remaining guard's turn. As he sees his
Wisdom save.
Thank you. I always forget. That is a fail.
3d8.
3d8,
12.
12. Okay. So, 12. So again, as he stands around, these figures, these fiendish spectral figures surrounding you, these spirit guardians, just dive on him and begin tearing at his skin and his claws, just clawing into his armor. And you see as he begins to bleed kind of profusely as he's still standing, as he looks, and he's going to use his entire action and begin screaming, "Intruders! Intruders in the keep!" And that will bring us to Sandwich. What would you like to do, Sandwich, with your frozen blades?
I am going to approach, just walking up towards him as he's yelling. Going to use my bonus action to cast my Blood Curse of the Marked on him.
Okay.
Doubling my Crimson Right damage.
Okay.
Probably completely unnecessary.
Well, let's see.
And then as I draw back to strike, I'm going to utter, "The condition of man is a condition of war," and strike out with both of them.
First one hits.
So 7 and 4, 11 damage total.
Okay. So how would you like to kill this last sentry?
That one, I'm just, as I finish quoting, just right through the face.
Okay. So as you see this guard yelling, "Intruders, intruders!" you come up and you see this bird just spout this little wise saying. As he turns, he goes, "What?" And just the blade goes right through his face. And as it does, again, you see the same crystals begin to form around the guard's head, as when you bring the blade back out again, the head just kind of explodes into shatters. The body's still completely fine, but the head completely destroyed. All right, and that brings us to initiative count 20 before anything else happens. Okay, so you are now out of combat. I will still leave the initiative order up, but you are considered out of combat right now.
When we leave combat, before I drop my concentration, I'm gonna give one of the spirit things a nice little fist bump, and then I'm gonna drop my concentration.
Bad beans, bad.
As you do that, you see a couple of them still kind of attempting to slash out at Bree. One of them kind of comes up to you, goes, and just fist bumps you. And, you see them disperse.
What? Oh, hey Bree, how you doing?
You're not too waterlogged, I hope.
Nah, I'm fine. Kind of pretty refreshing, actually. I actually want one of these maces, flails. I'm gonna pick one up.
Okay. So you pick up a flail. The first thing you notice is it is a bit warm to the touch. Not hot enough that it would hurt you, but it does feel like there is a bit of internal warmth to it. So for the purposes of this weapon, if you choose to use it, it deals 1d6 plus your proficiency, piercing damage, and then 1d6 fire damage on top of it.
Ooh. Is it a strength or dex weapon?
It is a strength weapon.
Awesome.
I'm gonna
1d6 plus
search
your strength
the
damage.
guards' corpses and see if they had any healing potions or anything on them.
Sure. Give me an investigation check. Okay. Rifling through the bodies. Again, the first thing is, as you're moving them, similar to the weapons, the armor itself is hot to the touch. Not scalding, but just it does feel a little warm. And as you kind of move around, you find a bit of odd knickknacks on them, like baubles and collectibles. In a weird way, you kind of figure these were taken from people, and they might have had some sentimental value to someone, but these guards just kind of took them for themselves. You also find each one has a small handful, about 2 or 3 large silver coins. Not silver like you would spend, but they're made of silver, and they're about probably the size of what a $50 coin would look like. But you don't find any healing potions though.
Okay, well I'll take the knickknacks and the coins.
Okay. Make a Arcana check as you take this stuff. Okay. Even with that check, as your hand touches these coins, you don't know what it is, but you feel some sort of incredible power within these coins. You're not sure what, though.
Okay. Hey, you guys, come check out these coins. They're kind of weird. You feel, I don't know, kind of like a boost. Powerful, but not in a normal way.
I'll take one.
Do you give one to Philip?
Yes.
Philip, I need you to make a history check.
History.
History or religion, whichever one's better.
History.
Okay. As you take this coin, you feel the same sort of power. It is familiar to you. You feel like you've heard about these coins, but you can't quite place what it is.
Okay.
Like it's one of those things like you know what this is, but you just can't think of it right now.
It's on my tongue.
Yeah, it's literally on the tip of your tongue.
Pay no regard to this thing. I'm just trying to make sure I got it right. Okay.
Sure.
Well, that's one room down. No girl. You know, I guess we better press on. Sure that the Guards will probably be coming around here pretty soon. I'd rather not be at the front gate. Making a lot of noise.
Especially with that friend of yours out there.
I know. I'm hoping he'll actually come by later, and I can we're not gonna talk about that. But
If he sees these dead friends, it might be a problem.
that's true. And Bree kind of brushes the blood off of her and goes into the.
Okay. So you said you went into the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. As you step into the hallway, what is your armor class? 13. Okay. So as you step back into the hallway, you are immediately hit by 3 attacks. As you see, standing next to you, cue the music again. Let's do a different one this time. As you notice, to your left and right, and straight ahead of you, are 3 more guards. Seemingly coming from the guardhouse across the way. So,
Damn it. This is gonna hurt. Someone's fiends kind of already beat me up a little bit.
You take 18 points of damage total as
Ow!
you step out and these flails just hammer into you. As these guards apparently had been waiting outside the door for you. So now that's going to bring it to your turn.
Okay. With that, I am going to transform
Okay.
into a Nerid.
Okay. So, where is my... Let me just pull up the stat block for that. So what was the name of what you're transforming into?
That I've never been a druid, so I'm new to the shape-shifting.
No problem.
What was your question, Billy?
So what are you changing into again? Nerid?
A Nerid.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So, you guys in the room, as you see Bree take a step out, you see these almost burning hot flails wrap around each of her arms, kind of slamming into her, as you see her form immediately turn into this almost very feminine-looking water elemental type figure in front of you. So now, I believe that is your bonus action. If I'm correct. So what would you like to do with your action?
I am going to Drowning Kiss.
Okay. So which one? Are you doing the top one or the bottom one?
We'll do the top one.
Okay. All right. Once again, let me give him some color so I can determine who's who. Because that'll make things difficult for you. All right. So you are going to be. There we go. Okay. So you're red. You're blue. You are green. Okay. So you're hitting green. So
Yep,
green
and
makes
green.
a Constitution save. That is a natural 20. That will save, but still will take half.
Yeah.
Okay.
This does not appear to take any
Let's
damage
see.
from that.
It doesn't say it does or doesn't.
Or take on a failure. Also runs out of breath. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's not a cantrip, so I can't imagine.
No, yeah, it takes the damage. No, say it must succeed or take.
Yeah.
There is no half. So yeah, it does not take damage on a success.
Okay. So you do see this watery figure reach out and almost attempt to kind of go in for a kiss on this guard as he... You see him kind of flail around with his flail. And manages to pull away at the last second. Girls, gross! That will be, I believe that will be your turn, which will now bring us to the guards, as this one steps out into the hallway. And since you are their only target so far, they will all unleash a round of attacks on you. What's your AC is this thing? 13, so it's 1 hit. 2 misses. Okay, so only 2 hits out of that whole thing. So the blue one slams into you for 6 points of damage altogether. So it's 4 points of piercing damage and then 2 points of fire damage. Which, do you have any resistances at all? No. Okay, so 6 damage altogether as this flail smashes into your kind of watery form, kind of making a bubble and steam. The red guard attempts to swipe at you, and you, without thinking, sort of wrap one of your watery tendrils around it, kind of pull it out of his hand and drop it to the ground. And the green one is going to hit you for 7 points of piercing damage and 5 points of fire damage, and 12 overall.
12 overall, so that's the 6 plus what he just did.
Yes, so that was
Okay,
18
so another 6
overall
then. Okay,
for the whole round.
I gotcha.
Alright, also let's get rid of you. Okay, so that will bring us now to Philip.
My name's Philip. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go there.
You,
And
you can
because-
move through her if you want.
I can move through her?
Yes, because
Oh,
she's a
that makes
front.
it so much easier.
However, you will take a
We'll take an attack of opportunity. Yeah.
from the red one. Yes,
Yes.
and he misses.
Good. So green, I'm going to hit with my new handy dandy flail.
Okay. So as you swipe out with this flail, you're not quite used to the weight yet. It's a little bit lighter than your hammer is, so you kind of misjudge the attack as it swings over his head as he kind of ducks underneath of it.
1d4 from Bless.
Yes, you can use 1d4 if you want, although I don't think it's going to make a difference.
Yep, I can. I will.
Yeah. So same thing. You unfortunately, as you swing, it unfortunately sails over his head as he ducks underneath of it. Any bonus action?
No.
Okay. Sandwich. What do you do?
I will go ahead and pass through the same way he did, to the other side, taking the 1 attempt.
Which will miss.
Okay. And then I will attack 1 on the blue, 1 on the red,
Okay. Roll me some
with my
attack.
frozen rapiers.
Oh.
Ouch. Okay, and then the other one.
Okay. So the
Okay,
first
yeah,
attack was on red. Second attack was on blue. So as you attack,
That's a crit.
yeah. So you attack the red with your first rapier, and as you do, he's in the middle of dropping his own weapon and going to pick it up. So you kind of stab at him, and you stumble a bit, and the blade manages to kind of keep you upright. But as you kind of pull it out, you take the second one and kind of under your own first strike, you stab up into the exposed part of the breastplate right under the armpit, and stab up into the blue one, dealing a pretty nice amount of damage.
15 total.
15. Okay. Alrighty. Very nice. Any bonus action?
No. No bonus action this time.
Okay. That will bring us to initiative count 20, where a thing happens.
Good
Okay.
thing.
Scared about this thing.
You can still make friends.
Oops, sorry. So, Bree, it is now your turn.
Alright, I'm going to look at the red one and go for another drowning kiss.
Okay. So it's a DC 13 con save. That was a nat 20. So you miss the kiss on the first one. You turn. Actually, you need to roll for a recharge of the kiss.
Yes, a D6.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah. So just do a. If you get a 5 or a 6, the kiss recharges.
Oh, I see. Okay, that explains why it says that.
Okay. So in that case, you can do one of your other attacks instead.
I'll do a water lash then.
Okay. So
red
it
one.
is the DC 13 saving throw. So I'll reroll for him. So strength save. Okay, that is a failure. So he's going to take 4d6 plus 3 bludgeoning damage.
4d6 plus 3, so 23.
23 damage. Very nice.
Nice.
And that's
Plus
on the
knocked prone.
that's on the red one.
Yes.
Okay, so 23. He's going to use his reaction and use unyielding, so he cannot be knocked prone this turn.
Okay, well it says he's pushed up to 15 feet in a straight line or is knocked prone.
Okay, so in that case, yeah, so he can choose to ignore one or the other. So he's going to ignore the prone and get pushed 15 feet back, which, Sandwich, if you would like, you may take an attack of opportunity on him as he's pushed out of your range.
Sure.
That'll hit. So 8 damage.
And then 3 more from the frost on the rapier.
Okay, wow.
So 11.
In one turn, this incredibly healthy guard is just battered by this lash of water that impacts him, throwing him backward. And as he does, Shadow, you reach out and stab into one of his exposed areas. He's still standing as he's slammed back into the wall behind him of the doorway, and he's struggling to stay up. Very nice turn. I don't believe Nerds have any bonus actions. No. Okay, so that'll bring us to the guards. So the green one is going to attempt to hit you, Bree. 2 attacks. That's a 16 and a 10. So I think the first. Yeah,
The 16 will
16
hit.
hits.
The armor class of the Nereid is 13.
So 4 piercing damage and 6 fire damage, so 10 altogether.
When it goes to attack her, I have Sentinel, so I'm going to use my reaction to attack him.
Okay. That will miss.
With Bless, because we still have Bless for a 16.
That is still a miss, unfortunately. So as you
Damn.
see,
Okay.
you think you see an opening, but you misjudge it again, and the flail kind of impacts harmlessly off of his flaming armor.
Okay.
But that does. Oh, it's still their turn now. So he missed them. Blue is going to attempt to attack you, Philip.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
That is a 20 and a 10.
20 will hit.
Okay, so that is good. God, those first rolls are not good. That is 4 piercing damage and 2 fire damage, so 6 altogether.
Okay.
And then Red is going to attempt to run back into the fray and try to hit you, Sandwich. Ooh, that's a miss and a nat 20. So... oh, God. 15 piercing damage and 10 fire damage. So 25 altogether. As in his death throes, you see as he swings the flail, it seems to kind of erupt in a small flame. As it wraps around you for a second, you feel the burning into your feathers. You see a couple singes arrive here and there as it deals a pretty nice chunk of damage there. But that is its turn. So that'll bring us now to Philip.
Philip! I'm going to try and hit it green again. Aha!
That'll hit. So that is 7 piercing. And you're hitting who again? Blue or green?
Green.
Green. Okay, so okay, so you make this strike and you feel the flail impact into the armor as you see the burning chain wrap a little bit around his body. It feels as though it's not doing as much damage as you think it would do, but it still does deal damage.
Okay.
Any bonus action?
Nope.
Okay. Sandwich, it is time for your revenge. What will you do?
We are just going to use both attacks on the red guy in retaliation and anger.
Okay. That is a hit. That is a hit. So, as you...
23 in
As-
response.
As this sentry hits you with this pretty big attack, you grit your muscles and you take your frozen blades and again stab them both up underneath his breastplate into his chest, and you feel that very familiar crackling of ice as the ice consumes the sentry's body and just...
Get him.
As you see this guard, or what's left of it, drop to the ground. Damn, Sandwich is fucking killing it. God damn. Alright, any bonus action?
No, I'm not going to use another blood right now.
Okay, so that'll bring us to initiative count 20, where a thing happens. Okay. The thing does indeed happen. So, on initiative count 20, you guys hear the sound of scuffling
Uh-oh.
as, sorry, as I make the drama rise. As you see the doors collide open ahead of you, and two more guards rush out into the hallway. Who they will act on the guard's turn as well. So that will bring us now to Bree. So you can roll a d6 and see if your kiss recharges. It does not. You can still do either of your other attacks.
I will do another water lash because that seemed to go so well, and I'm gonna do it at green.
At green?
Kind of
Okay.
hoping to knock him into the other two.
Okay. That is a failure, so roll your 4d6 plus 3.
4d6.
15.
18.
Plus, that's right, 18. Okay, so 18. Okay, so Green is going to use his reaction unyielding. He is going to stop the move, but he is going to be knocked prone.
Okay.
Knocked prone. So then that. Any bonus action?
I don't think she had this form has bonus action.
Okay. So that's going to bring us to the guard's turn. That guard is going to stand back up. So blue and green are going to attempt to continue to attack this water figure in front of them. So blue hits you with one attack,
Okay.
and green hits you with two. So blue deals 10 damage altogether, and green deals 13 points of piercing damage and 5 points of fire damage.
Okay. So I am poofed out of the water form and I am back into Bree form. And
Okay.
if I remember correctly, any damage left over carries to the other one, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Alright.
indeed.
When they do that, I'm going to use my reaction because it is a new round.
Yes.
I'm going to hit green. Never mind. I am not going to hit green.
So here's the thing. You do hit green. Unfortunately, you hit his flail, which he then pulls and make a strength save as he tries to rip the flail out of your hands. Okay, you're fine. So you feel it slip for a second, but you manage to hold onto your grip hard enough that it doesn't fully leave your hand.
Okay.
But that will take us back to your turn. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I skipped orange and
Yep.
purple. They're going to both attempt to attack you, Philip. So, does a 16 hit you?
16. No.
Okay,
16
so
does not.
purple misses both. Does a 18 hit you?
Yes.
Okay, so then orange hits you with an 18 and a natural 20. So the 18, the regular attack is 7 piercing and 5 fire. So that's 12. And then the other one is 11 piercing and 6 fire damage.
Good lord.
But now it is your turn.
Uno momento, por favor. I'm
No
doing
problem.
math. It's 33 minus 17 is not computing right now.
I can't do math either. I taught history. I can't teach math.
Okay, I am like, good lord, I'm hurting. So, okay. Since he tried to pull my weapon out of my hand, I'm going to drop it. And in a fluid motion, I'm going to pull out my warhammer from where I stowed it and just do a downward strike onto green.
Okay. Roll to hit. That'll do it. 1 to green. Okay. So as you release this flail and draw the warhammer again, you slam into his breastplate, kind of denting and cracking in some place. He's looking real bad, but he is still on his feet.
And then, as a bonus act, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so that will miss, but where are you putting your weapon?
I'm going to put my weapon. I'm pretty sure it has to have a free space, so it's going to be directly behind orange.
Okay. I am going to find a good token for your weapon here. What tokens do I have? You know, I'm going to use this flaming monster as your flame because I feel like that thematically fits. So you what weapon do you summon? I know I'm using this token, but it can be whatever you want.
It's going to be let's just do a warhammer.
Okay.
Big, really big warhammer, like a great club style warhammer.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of liberties here since you are indeed lawful evil. You see the edgelordiest edgelord warhammer just covered in spikes, black metal. There's there's flames on it. Like it's fucking gnarly as this thing just appears next to this sentry who kind of looks at it and goes, "That's badass, man." as he kind of steps back as it swings at him. Cool. Very good use of a turn. Sandwich.
So, seeing the other two come through from behind, my rage kind of boils over and my bones start to pop. My figure kind of elongates as my feathers kind of start falling out. And as I shift form into a werepanther.
Yes!
And just growl at the blue one in front of me.
Yes!
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm taking a break here for a second, guys. I love Order of the Lycan Blood Hunters. I also love that a bird is transforming into a cat. That is amazing. Okay, I wish I had a cool werepanther token. Wait, I might have a cool panther token. Give me a second. Hold on, give me a second. Where are you, Smoke? Where are you, you feathery you panther bastard? No! Okay, I had a cool token. I don't know where the hell it went, but, oh, there he is! Yes, okay. So. Yeah! Okay, so. We're gonna pretend that's you for a second. Alright, so, you see, as, Sandwich, the feather, again, the bones pop, the feathers fall off, as you see this werepanther standing in his place growling at at the blue guard. Actually, you know what? Make an intimidation check with advantage. Because that's fucking badass. Okay. So, Sandwich, you take a big inhale as you raise this roar. Meow! and you see the guard go, what? Alright, so is that a bonus action or an action? I forgot.
That is a full action.
Okay. Your weapons are still...
I do not have a bonus.
Okay, weapons are still frosted. Cool. Frosted tips, got it. Okay, so there is no more 20 count, so it brings us to Bree.
Okay, Bree is gonna just try and take... No, just real quick. A potion, if I drink a potion, that's a full action, right? Or is
Bonus
that a
action. So
That's
if
bonus
you
action.
drink it, it's a bonus action. If you give it to someone else, like if you force feed
Then
someone,
it's an action.
that's the action.
Then
yes.
I will down my potion.
Okay, so you guys got a simple healing potion, which I believe is 4d4 plus 4.
2d4 plus 2.
Oh, well then you bought the 44 plus 4 one. I forget what that one's called.
So we bought greater healing potions.
Greater,
Yes.
yeah. So you bought graders. So 44 plus 4.
Alrighty. 9 plus 4. Okay. And then, so, after I do that, I'm just gonna take a deep breath to try and center myself, focus on the moon, and cast Moonbeam.
Very nice.
I
Okay.
am going to cast it on green. 'Cause
Okay.
It's only a 5-foot radius.
That is a con save, or what is that?
Let me double check.
Or is it dex?
The Constitution saving throw, yes.
Constitution saving throw. Okay.
And it's radiant damage.
And then what is your DC?
My DC is a 15 right now.
15. Okay. So with a 13, as you center yourself and you think back to that feeling you had in the clearing yesterday, and you kind of close your eyes as you feel that power begin to grow, and when your eyes flash open again, almost coming through the ceiling completely, you see this beam of bright light just boom, just slam down into this creature, completely obliterating him as it just yes.
I hate to be this guy. Moonbeam is a 5-foot radius.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
it's 10 feet wide.
10 foot wide. It's the whole corridor.
It's the whole corridor.
Oh, all right. So it's is
Is
it all
Yes.
you, or do
Yeah.
you pick a person? I forgot that.
You pick
I
a
thought
point.
it was a
You pick a point,
5-foot
5
radius,
foot radius.
40-foot high cylinder centered on
Yeah.
a point within range.
So
Radius
it's a
is half a
10-foot
circle.
circumference.
So yeah, so you hit everyone. So all right. So green failed, and green he did. So
What's the save?
The save is a Constitution save of DC 15. So let me just take care of green. real
I
quick.
failed.
Green is absolutely dead. All right, let's do.
I didn't. Yeah.
Purple
I
succeeds. Orange fails. Blue succeeds. So
They take half if they.
yes. So we took 8. Blue took 8. And then orange took full. Okay. Cool. So again, you see this light just. And as it hits, you watch as green and blue are both just evaporated completely, leaving just the last two.
I failed and I'm down.
Oh, okay. You also see Philip drop to the ground as this energy just knocks him off of his feet.
I can move it. Do I have to? When do I get to move that?
I believe that's on your next turn. It's a bonus action to move.
You
it.
get to use a bonus action on your next turn is when the first time you get to move
it's
it.
an action, not a bonus action. She gets an action to move it in 60 feet in any direction.
Gotcha. Okay, so on your next
Gotcha.
turn, you can still use a bonus action this turn. Then you can, if you have.
I
a
didn't
bonus
catch that till you cut out.
Sorry,
I get to use a bonus action for what?
action. For anything, if you want to, still have a bonus action this turn. But to
Then
move it.
I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word at the 4th level on Philip.
Oh. You guys are friends. All right, so watching these figures evaporate and seeing Philip drop, you kind of like, and just raise your hand, and as this healing energy pours out into you, Philip, as you are healed 14 hit points.
Thank you.
All right, and then that will take us to these two guards, who are going to attempt to, seeing you rise back.
They
to
start
feet.
their turn in the moonbeam. They
do.
take damage.
You are correct. Do they make a save again, or is it just automatic damage?
I think it's auto.
Do they get hit?
Let me
If
see.
it killed,
They still make a save.
I know,
Yeah.
but if it killed green and blue, does it still hit?
Technically, no. The way it works is that beam came down, and it sits on them. If they enter or start their turn there, that is when they take damage. So at this point, nothing has taken any damage.
I mean, technically, I put it center on green, so technically, purple and
At the
orange
start of their
would
turn.
still be in.
At the at the start of their turn, they would all then take the damage. So the green and blue would die,
15, 30.
orange and purple would take the damage they just took. So the damage they took, they've already taken, because this is on the start of their turn.
Right. Okay, got it. I haven't played a druid in a while. I'm sorry. So purple and orange are going to both attempt to. Actually, no. Orange is going to move up and attempt to get out of here. Green is going to attempt to attack you, because I believe Moonbeam is concentration, so he's going to try and do some damage here. Okay.
Yeah, it is concentration.
That is a 22 and a 19.
Yeah, they both hit.
Okay, so the first one is going to be 6 piercing and 1 fire, so 7 altogether. The second one is going to be 9 piercing and 4 fire, so it's 10, so 17 altogether. So
You have to make two separate. She has to make two separate con saves and get above 10.
Yes.
There's the first one. There's the second one.
You're
I
good.
Did it.
So you feel this thing kind of slam into you, and the magic kind of stutters for a second, but you manage to hold on to it as it continues.
Sentinel.
So now both of them will take their damage, will
Okay.
they not?
They took their damage at the start of their turn.
Purple
Not when
and
you
orange
cast-
took their damage?
Yes.
Not
Okay.
when you cast the spell, it's at the start.
Right. No, I was just making
Yes.
sure purple and orange
Who are you
took damage.
sentineling? The
I can
purple or-
only sentinel something that attacks an ally that is within. If it attacks an ally and I'm 5 feet within it.
Gotcha. Okay, so that does hit. So roll some damage. 16. Okay. Okay. Nice
Okay.
amount of damage. All right. So then, purple will attempt to attack you, which will miss probably. So they get 18 misses you, Philip.
18 hits me.
18 hits. Okay.
I have an AC of 7.
17. All right. Cool. So 6 piercing and 5 fire. So 11 altogether.
Okay.
And then that brings it to you, Philip.
Okay, because that's an on start of your turn, I will then take 16 points of damage, but she healed me. I'm at 3 damage, 3
You
health.
have a healing potion.
I know I have a healing potion.
I'm imagining this fight, this argument in game. You have a healing potion.
I hit
Don't
orange
make
again.
me waste another spell!
That'll hit. And with that, you, as this one is completely focused on Bree, you bring the Warhammer down and crack him in the back of the skull. And as you do, his head hits the ground with a sickening crunch, as you just imagine that his face has just been smashed as it hits the ground, as his body seems
Silly.
lifeless.
So pretty.
What?
Look behind you.
Thank you. She brought me some blood because she's a good wife.
I am then going to drink my healing potion for 12.
Oh god. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. Okay. Cool. So you heal up 12 hit points. That's going to bring us to Sandwich.
Wait.
A bonus action.
Wait, do I have to, is that a bonus action to have an attack?
No, your attack action was the attack, and the bonus
I know.
action was the healing potion.
Is it a bonus action?
To drink a potion.
Yes.
No. Is it a bonus action to have my spiritual weapon do something?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. it
Okay.
is.
Is it to attack or is it just to move?
Both.
Both?
Yes.
Your creature, blah, blah, blah. We can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. It's bonus action. You can move the weapon. Okay.
Okay.
I'm good.
Cool. Sandwich.
All right, let's see if I maintain control first.
It's not bad.
Barely. Wait, no, higher. It has to be higher than 10.
Why?
So I must use the action to attack the creature nearest me.
Jesus. You guys are the worst party ever.
Oh no!
You are the worst party ever.
I missed. I really do.
I only have 14 hit points.
Okay.
Oh, God.
My second one misses too.
Okay, so, Bree, you see this feral-looking werepanther turn to you, malice in his eyes, as he begins to... Whereas Sandwich is more finesse and graceful with his rapier strikes, this werepanther is just hacking at you, trying to get to you, but you manage to kind of dodge out of the way of both of them, as it's still kind of heavily breathing, staring at you, completely given into rage.
Ah, kitty.
Kitty.
Don't make me get some water. I'll splash you.
No. Alright, Bree, that'll bring it to your turn.
Okay. I am going to move the moonbeam so it is not hitting my patriot.
Okay.
I would put it right in the crack right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, from where you are, you can see further down the hallway too, so I should be able to reveal that.
Dude, you cut out so bad.
Yeah.
There we go. Nope, shit. There we go. Reveal, damn you. Yeah, so I was saying you guys should be able to see further down the hallway. I just don't know why it's not revealing the hallway. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So you can place it further enough down that you manage to not hit anybody in your party.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do that.
That's the size of the moonbeam right there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so that damage will happen on his turn, so I'll wait to roll his save then. Any bonus action?
Wait. I'm gonna healing word again on myself.
Okay.
Just think when we get to the end, boss.
Okay, so you heal yourself. That brings us to their turn. They're going to roll their con save, which is a failure. So re-roll your moonbeam damage.
Yep, I think.
2d10.
Okay, and that is just enough. So how do you kill this last sentry with your moonbeam?
I kind of just look at it as it's like kind of being disintegrated by the power of the moon, and I kind of just smile and giggle and say, "Dylan says hi," and just watch it, you know.
So, as you look at him and you say those words, "Moon says hi," you see him kind of, what? Boom! As this beam slams into him again, just completely evaporating his body. And that is going to take you guys out of combat. And let me just clear this for a quick, just for later on. There we go. Yes. And yes, there we go. So, with that, as you have made quite a bit of racket here in the hallway, and the guards came out to you, you all of a sudden hear the sound of torches in this hallway. And you look down this originally dark hallway as these torches are just lighting up as they go further and further down until eventually down at the end of the hallway you see a large set of these iron wrought doors that very slowly begin to open inward. And even from this distance, you all hear a voice call out from within this room. Come, face me and die.
You know, I thought this was gonna be really fun.
I don't really like the thought of dying.
No, neither do I.
I'm kind of a little banged up. I think only Sandwich has a healing potion left.
Yeah.
At least I'm able to maintain my head and not attack her.
That would be so terrible. That would be so bad. We lived.
In response to their bickering, it's victory at all costs, victory in spite of all terror, victory however long and hard the road may be, for without victory there is no survival. And I'm running.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
So you see Sandwich just take off running down the hallway, and running into the throne room.
At a 50 base speed, so 100 double speed.
Okay, so you are well and good into the throne room. Maybe this one.
Can I shapeshift to try and catch up to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna shapeshift into a mean lock.
Okay. So I'm gonna reveal that. Okay. So, you guys can bring yourselves into the room a little bit, and as you enter, let me just do something real quick. Boop.
They're a lot faster than me. The base speed.
I should probably have taken a potion, but
Probably should have. All right, so, so you charge ahead into the throne room. Read my notes. Okay, so as you guys enter this room, especially Sandwich, you sprinting in first. This is a massive room, about 40 feet wide. Ceiling extends upwards of maybe 60, 70 feet, and straight ahead of you is this large black onyx dais, very similar to the material of the entire room, and sitting on it is this throne that, if you imagine the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, but instead of swords, it's just these almost moving, wriggling chains that seem to be constantly in motion the entire time. And seated on this throne is this figure completely surrounded in these robes that also seem to be kind of moving and shuddering as this figure sits there. And as you look ahead, you recognize, you assume this figure is Zeglanoth, the Keeper, Lord of Shackles. As his head rises and you see the first glimpse of his just horrifying visage, he looks to you and just says, "Welcome. I've been expecting you." And he eventually stands. He stands up from his throne. "It doesn't have to be like this. Either fight me and die, or leave me and become very wealthy."
This room is, because I have dark vision, right? And so it's kind of like a dim lit room, except for like the torches on the walls.
Yeah,
kind of a
so the
thing.
hallway was lit by like actual torches. In here, it's that same light as the entryway. Again, if you just imagine redstone torches from Minecraft, that's basically what this looks like. It's bathed in a very dull reddish glow.
Perfect. Then I shall shadow teleport behind him, and I shall attack him with my claws.
Okay. So I need you to make a straight dexterity save to see whether or not you can get this off before he notices you. Okay, so you will get an attack on him, and then we'll roll initiative, and we'll be in the.
He also
collective.
has to roll a wisdom saving throw, otherwise he's fearful of me.
True. I need to pull that app up again so I can see what exactly you transformed into. What'd you say it was? A mean lock?
A mean lock.
Ooh, look at you. That's terrifying. I like
lock.
it. Oh, you're a little small thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you shout teleport, he's going to make a wisdom save. Yeah, so with a 19, he's going to succeed as he turns to see you. You can get your attack off, and then after that we will roll initiative, as the children say.
Alright, okay, so this is a melee attack plus 40 hit. How do I do that? Just roll a 20?
Yeah, so roll... Let me move him down here for a second so I can get the turn thing. There it is. Yeah, so just
20
roll...
plus 4.
Roll d20 and then add your 4.
So that'll be a 16.
16 will just hit.
Okay, 2d4 plus 2. And the target must succeed on a DC 11 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute.
Okay. Oh, also, I just realized your fear wouldn't affect him. He's not a humanoid.
It says beast or humanoid, so. I figured
Yeah, he's a
it was
fiend.
worth a shot.
No, it was absolutely. So was it DC 11 Constitution save?
Yeah, should
Okay.
be easy for him.
Yeah, so he passes that. But he still does take the damage. So the damage was... What is it?
10.
10. Okay. So as you slash into him, your claws rip through his cloak that he's wearing, and as you do, you see underneath this wriggling mass of chains, ever moving, always in motion, and you feel like you made a good hit, but it doesn't seem to do as much damage as you think it does. All right, and then Brias needs you to roll initiative, and then we will get going with combat.
I can't believe my initiative was that bad again.
We all did very poorly.
All right, everybody's on there, so we'll do this. All right, so Bree, you are up first. So you are behind him as your little mean lock person.
Now,
You're so mean.
for Meanlock, it has the only attack it has is claws. I don't have access to my dagger or anything like that. I can only do the claw attack.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, just double checking.
All right, so go ahead and roll your attack.
20, so that's an 18.
That'll hit.
Okay. 4.
Okay, so he saves on the Constitution save, but he still
I
takes
do
the
6.
damage. 6. Okay. Okay. So again, you claw into him, further ripping this cloak. Again, the damage just doesn't seem to be going all the way through, but you are still dealing something. And as you continue clawing, you see his robes begin to fray, revealing this somewhat humanoid but not humanoid figure, and every inch of where should be skin is just chains. And it's a little terrifying at first. So that's that. I don't think you have any bonus actions. Okay. So then that will bring us to
Me.
Philip. It's your
Philip.
turn.
So I need you to move my spirit weapon up 20. Actually, dispel my spirit weapon.
Sure. Go away, spirit weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for my movement of 30. I am going to re-summon my spiritual weapon directly next to him.
Okay.
Right here. Right there.
Let me grab that same picture again. Oh, here we go. Aha! I actually have a spiritual weapon token. That's a hammer.
Aha! Dealing with attack of 16
16 will hit.
for 9 force damage.
Also, is that considered radiant or is it just force? I always forget this.
It is just force.
Just force. Okay. So, dealing 9 damage. Okay.
And that was a bonus action. And for my action, I'm going to throw a vial of holy water at him.
Okay. Give me just a straight dexterity check. Okay. And then he's going to attempt to dodge it, so you get a good throw. Ooh, that's it. Okay. So, as you throw this vial, it spins through the air, and from underneath his cloak, one of the chains comes out and actually smashes it in midair. As the water hits onto the chains, you see it begin to corrode a little bit and quickly recess back into his cloak. Unfortunately, not managing to hit his full body, though.
Okay. I'm going to use that as an action. So, I'm good.
Okay. That will bring us to Zeglanoth. So, the first thing he is going to do. Okay. So, the first thing he does as his action is going to turn towards you, Bree, and again, from under his cloak, you see another chain whip out and attempt to hit you. So,
Oh, that's creepy.
that's going to be 16 to hit you.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is going to deal 14 slashing damage, and you are grappled.
I am grappled, okay.
As this chain wraps around you, dealing
You said 15 or 14?
14.
Okay.
And then also on his turn, he's going to look towards the back of the room and just kind of smile. And that's going to be his turn. Sandwich! I fucking love that name so much.
Quick step up to him.
That's not him.
That's me.
Back of the room.
Really? I have a shadow of him, like, right there.
Really?
No.
No, he's not there.
I have a shadow of him right there. Interesting.
No, that's weird. I don't know why he wouldn't be on my screen.
Now
That's
you're
on
standing
top
on
of
top
him.
of him.
Yeah, I don't have him there. Hang on, let me refresh.
That's very odd.
Left a shadow behind. Let me refresh
Move
real
him.
fast.
I don't know if it does anything.
There he is. Yep, I got him now.
Aha! Where am I? Okay.
Yeah, I will charge right up to him right there. And resetting, removed my character sheet. Give me a sec.
No problem. Roll 20 is... it's called Troll 20 for a reason, folks. It's just what it is.
We were so
Alright,
not prepared.
Use my magical cold weapons.
Hit, miss.
So that'd be 8.
8. Okay. So again, as you reach out with these magic enhanced weapons, you do also. Is this? Oh, it's cold damage too. I forgot about that. Okay. So as these as you stab into him, part of the chain around his body begins to kind of cover with frost before it shakes itself off, and the cold is blasted back. Unfortunately, not doing as much damage as you would have hoped. Okay. Anything else in your turn?
No. No, I'm gonna pop that healing potion.
Okay.
No, I'm not. My hands are full of rapiers. No, I'm not.
Okay. That'll bring us to Bree.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna claw attack one more time. Most out of this form. So a 14. I don't think that hits.
14 will miss.
Okay. And what do I have to do to try and get ungrappled?
Just a straight strength. It's a opposed strength check.
Strength check. Okay. Oh, my strength is terrible. It's a -1.
Okay. So as this tiny little thing begins to squirm, you feel the chains just tighten around your body a little more.
Someone get me out!
Also, you take 7 points of damage as these chains squeeze in a little bit on your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
It's even worse. Your strength is actually a -2 in this form.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. It's not that much better than my normal. Hey!
All right.
My
Philip.
Philip! I'm going to run up here behind my small, tiny, changed friend. And I am going to cast that on her.
Freedom of movement. Okay. So unaffected by difficult terrain, spells, and magical effects. Can neither cause the terror to be paralyzed or restrained. Target arm spends. Okay. Cool. So, unfortunately, that would not free her from the grapple because it is a magical chain.
I don't. Just by looking at it, I don't know that, so.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good try.
Yep. And then I am going to have my spiritual weapon attack him again, because that is a bonus action.
That
Ooh,
will
nice
that will
spiritual weapon.
just hit.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so that's 11 points of damage.
Force. Yes.
Yeah! Get me out!
And that's my turn.
Okay. That will bring us to Zeglanoth's turn, who, he, again, glances towards the back of the room, and you hear him just kind of, come, help daddy, dearest. And he turns to you again, actually, he's going to try to attempt to hit you, Sandwich, with his chain. That is an 18 to hit.
Just.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Wow.
die.
6 points of slashing damage. You are not grappled because he's already grappling someone else. Oh, he makes 2 attacks with his chain. I didn't know that. We'll forget that for right now. Okay. So, that's going to be his turn. That'll bring us to you, Sandwich.
I am going to drop my rapiers, releasing the Crimson Right.
Okay.
So I gain back the temporary hit points. I don't gain back any actual healing. And I'm going to proceed to use my unarmed strike. This gives me... I get my 2 normal, plus I get a bonus action to hit a 3rd time, and they are considered magical attacks.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 attacks. Ignore the damage from these. I'm just rolling using dagger for my automatic attack capabilities from it. So 21, 12, and 25.
First and last hit.
So 5 plus 10, 15.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, because one of those was a bonus action.
Okay, so that now brings us to the top of the order, where we seem to have a new person arriving on the battlefield. As stepping out of the room comes another tiefling woman who, as you look at her, her eyes are just completely jet black as she pulls out her bow, notches an arrow, and looks towards you, Sandwich, and just says in a very creepily monotone voice, "Don't worry, Father. I will help." And she is going to make 2 attacks with her longbow. The first one misses. Second one's a 20, not natural. And she's going to... Yeah, she would. She'd use her bonus action to add that to it. So that is... 13 points of damage to you, Sandwich, as this arrow strikes you in the back.
What type of damage?
Piercing.
Alright, so that'll be halved, actually.
Just regular old piercing. Alright, and then Bree, that'll bring us to your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna roll I think it's a D6, right, for recharge?
For...
That's my shadow teleport that I used to get behind him in the first place.
Yeah, so you need to roll either... Okay, so it recharges.
Alright, so it recharges, so... I am going to try and shadow teleport out of the chains.
Yeah, you do it.
Alright, I'm gonna make myself over here.
Okay.
And that's an action, right? That doesn't say anything about
yes.
bonus action.
No, that's a bonus action. So you still have
Oh,
an
it is
action.
a bonus action.
Yes.
If I drop my form, is that a bonus action?
Yes, but you could use it as an action if you want to do it.
But then I don't get to do anything afterwards.
Then you wouldn't get to do anything afterwards, yeah.
Actually... I'm gonna put myself next to her, because that would be within the 30 feet. And I'm going to claw attack her.
Okay.
Is she she's a humanoid though, right?
Yes, she is.
So my fear aura would apply to her.
Yes, so let me just roll that for her real
Wisdom
quick.
saving throw, she's gotta beat an 11, which isn't hard.
She does, yes.
Okay, so 18 plus E2, so that's 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
And then the con save for the paralyzing.
What is it?
Constitution on
It's
a
oh
DC 11.
shit, she just made it. Okay. So she still takes damage, but she is not paralyzed.
Okay.
Or stunned.
Oh, I haven't rolled the damage yet on that, have I?
Yeah. No, not yet.
D4 plus 2, so only 7.
7? Okay. Okay. Cool. Alright, so now, that will bring us to Philip.
Philip, okay. I'm going to move up there. I'm going to cast Divine Favor on myself, which allows me to strike with an extra 1d4 radiant damage.
Very nice.
And that's as a bonus action. I'm going to hit him with my Warhammer
That will hit, absolutely.
for 3 bludgeoning, plus when I take a attack action on once each of my turn, I can add up to 1d8 extra damage
Okay.
to my attack.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's 7 plus
1d4 radiant.
1d4 radiant.
Okay. So the first bit of the Warhammer strike doesn't seem to connect fully, but then as you pour in this energy, the hit managed to go through, dealing the full divine damage as well as the full radiant damage. All right. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So that's a bonus action. Cool. All right. That's going to now bring us back to Zeklanoth's turn. He is going to, he raises his arms as from around the room, these chains lying around begin to sprout up, and they are going to attack each of you. So one of them attacks Philip. That is a 20.
That hits.
Okay. One of them attacks Sandwich, which, oh god, is a 24.
Yeah, I think
And
that'll hit.
one of them attacks Bree, which is a 20.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Goddamn. Okay, I get why you can only do this once. So Philip, you take 5 slashing damage. Oh, not 5. 10 slashing damage, and you are grappled. Sandwich, you take 10 slashing damage and are grappled. Bree takes 10 slashing damage and is grappled. So you're all grappled.
And with that, I drop out of this form into normal Bree.
Okay. So as he raises his arms, you see these chains all snake to life and wrap around you. These chains actually sprout these like razor sharp edges on them. Yeah. It is something. So that's going to be his turn. So that'll bring us to Sandwich. So while you are grappled, you are going to take...
I cannot move, but I can still attack.
You take 5 points of piercing damage at the start of your turn. And then... Yeah, okay. You can still attack, but it would be at disadvantage because you're grappled. Although you can attempt to escape with a strength check. If you so choose.
I am just because going to look at the creature, and as a bonus action, I am going to glare at it, casting Blood Curse of Binding.
Oh.
It needs to make a DC saving throw of 14.
What skill or check?
Strength.
Strength. That's an 11.
And then I need to see, because I'm trying to decide if I'm going to amplify. What does amplify take? Where is it? Talk about that. Right here. Amplify, you can take a roll of my Crimson Red. Yeah, I'm also going to amplify it.
Okay.
So I'm going to take 3 points of damage to myself. So that this is an ongoing effect.
Okay.
His speed is reduced to 0.
Okay. So in a very weird twist of fate, the Lord of Shackles is shackled, and it seems to be unable to move. All right.
And then I
okay.
am going to... I think I'm going to go ahead and take my action. In an attempt to break the chain.
Okay. So that would be just a. So you can do strength check. I'll take either athletics or acrobatics to attempt to get out. Because this is not him. Okay. So yeah. So with that, since this is not the chain coming from him, it's a different check. So this one you managed to shift your weight a certain way, and you managed to kind of pop out of the chain, and you managed to free yourself. However, you notice the chain is still there. It's still, like, animated next to you.
Yep.
Okay. So that'll bring us to this lady. Who now seeing you next to her, Bree, now that you're especially close to her, you see there is nothing in her eyes. It's completely just a black void. As she stows her longbow and takes out her short sword and attempts to hit you with her short sword. That's a 22.
Yeah, that hits.
And she just deals 10 piercing damage as she slashes out at you.
Dara, stop! And, that hurt.
Alright, that's going to be her entire turn. Yeah, she doesn't have any bonus action there. Bree, you up?
Yep. I'm gonna Misty Step. Get out of the chain.
Okay, you do it. Yeah.
Yep. I get another 30 feet. I'm gonna move away from her, over here. And seeing this predicament, I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam, and I'm gonna do my best to try not to get my allies in the beam.
There is no way you will do that.
Yeah, so right now he is back against the wall, and you wouldn't be able to place it any further behind him.
Okay, so I can't do like a half round. That's fine.
The closest thing you could do is if you put it behind Philip's spiritual weapon, but I think you would still clip Sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it right up against the wall, it technically would not clip me. Half of it would be wasted because it wouldn't be going any
True.
further.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can do that.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Perfect.
And I am casting that level. And
Okay,
it
so
is
that's
pretty
it's gonna be 21 altogether. Okay, let me just do
On
it.
his turn.
On his turn. So
On his turn.
I'll wait to do his check on his turn. So let me write that down just in case. 21. And then what's the DC of that, just for future reference? 15.
Give me a second.
Mhm.
Yeah, spell save is a 15.
15. Okay,
He
so I
does
will.
take
So,
half if he.
okay, so on his turn, I will remember to do that. Okay. So as you begin
And
channeling.
remember, he has to either move 15, which he can't, or fall prone.
Yes. So you begin channeling this energy, getting ready to release it. Philip, your turn.
That was the water creature's ability.
Oh, that was the what? You're right. That was
Yeah.
the water lash.
I'm gonna try and break out of the chains.
Cool. All right, give me athletics or acrobatics, your choice. All right, so you struggle against these chains, trying to break out, and you just can't seem to push them aside. But you can still attack with your spiritual weapon.
Yes.
Okay, that'll hit. 4 points of force damage. Okay.
Very nice.
Anything else in your turn? No, nope, that's your action,
No.
bonus action. Cool. Okay, so that'll bring us to Zeglanov's turn. Is there anything he can do to attempt to break out, or is he just stuck there for the turn?
No, as long as he's in it.
Oh, not that.
He'll
Not
either
that.
take
I mean,
full damage or half.
Sandwich's blood curse.
Oh,
I do need to make that save though. So, what is it? A con save?
are you talking to me or him?
Oh, it's
You,
nothing.
Sandra.
Hers is the con.
Okay,
So
so
it
he,
can repeat at the end of its turn.
okay, so he takes all of that damage, and he is just. You see, as he's struggling against this blood curse holding him in place, Bree releases this energy she's holding, and again, boom, it just slams down. And as it hits at the same time as Philip's weapon, and you hear this, just sound of a pulse as this energy just engulfs him. And as the light fades from your eyes, he looks like shit, but he's still standing. And he's going to attempt to. So, am I doing a strength check to get out?
Yes, it is strength check 14 to try and get out.
Strength check. Okay, so with a 17 on the die, he does manage to break out, and you see him struggling to stand as he looks over. You see him maintain eye contact with who you now, especially you, Bree, have been closer. You know this is Dayra, as he looks to her and reaches an arm out, and just says, "Do not let me die." And he begins trying to. He's already used his bonus action, but he's trying to do something. And that will be his turn. So that'll bring us to Sandwich.
All right,
Finish him off.
I have to do it. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it.
Oh! All right, so
I needed healing, but he is the closest thing to me, even closer than the, because he's directly there. So
okay.
3
I'll just have
claw.
you roll d6.
I can. do that.
I was it's 1, 2, 3 is Zeglanoth, 4, 5, 6 will be Philip.
Damn it!
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing, the dagger attack. All 3 of these will be against the cleric.
I'm dead.
Okay, that's. Oh boy.
I don't care how much damage
2
you
of
do.
those hit you?
I have 5 hit points left. No matter how much damage you do, I am dead.
Yeah, because it's a plus 10 with 2 of those hits, so 17.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as long as that doesn't take you past your full maximum, you're just down.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And my
so
spiritual
the
weapon
first one-
dissipates.
Yeah.
The first one hits him and will knock him down. Will I follow with the second one on him, or do I turn the second one back to the other guy?
That's a good question.
You're still so you
saves now.
did fail the wisdom save, but I feel like you would attack something that's alive. So you would turn the other 2 attacks back. And with the first one hits, and with that, so you tear into Philip as he just drops to the ground. As you again turn your eyes back towards this fiend, and as you rear back, how do you want to kill Zeglanoth?
So, one hand just basically smacks and claws right across Philip's face, spinning him around, knocking him to the ground. And with the other, I'm aiming to gouge out Zeglanoth's eyes.
Okay, so as you reach up, you, for the first time having been this close, you're one of the few people to have made like contact with what you would call a face that Zeglanoth has, and you see it's this just decaying, decrepit-looking face with just the chains are still even moving around his face. It's almost like he's made of just chains, but you know there's something under it, and you kind of, in your rage, you see the chains moving back and forth. In a split second, you see that opening where you see those 2 pinpricks of his eyeballs, and your hand just reaches in and you grab, and as you pull your hand back, you actually your fingers and claws go into his eye sockets, and you manage to pull the entire front part of his face completely off. And you are currently holding the face of Zeglanoth in your hand as you see this creature fall to the ground. And as he does, the first thing you notice is the chains that are currently moving towards you drop lifeless to the ground. And you look back instinctively, still kind of in your rage, towards Dara, who's shot you already. And as you look to her, you see her eyes begin to slowly return back to a normal color, no longer these black voids, as she just kind of drops to a knee. What happened? As you guys are out of combat.
My spiritual weapon's no longer there.
Yeah, so when you went down,
Yeah.
your thing went down as well.
Sandwich, snap out of it.
At about that point, I'm going to drop to a knee, panting, and drop the lichen form.
And I will cast healing on Philip.
Okay.
And as my bones shift and the feathers start sprouting from what was fur, there's definitely a lot of blood.
Okay. So, as you guys manage to kind of gather everybody up, and Dara as well begins coming back to her feet, the first thing you hear is this very loud grinding noise coming from above you, as suddenly you hear slams echoing from all over the keep, just poof, 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 poof. And as you look as you look straight up, you see this massive chunk of the ceiling just these cracks begin to emerge all over the walls and ceiling as part of the roof just and crumbles in and lands in the far corner. And as far as you can tell, with Zeglanoth dead, this keep will not stand for much longer.
Yeah, that's probably not good. And we never did find the
We
ward.
need to get out.
As you say that, Dayrick looks to you. What? What wards? The wards? What about them?
Your sister said to bring the wards down, and then she'd be able to get us all out of here. She sent us here to get you.
You see, she kind of smiles for a second. She has sent you. As
No time. Out.
I've already started limping forward, hobbling my way out.
as you do that, she says, "Wait, follow me!" And you see her. She ducks back into the room that she first emerged from.
God damn it. I hate having to trust new people.
Follow the girl with daddy issues. Hurry!
How dare you! All right, so let me just reveal this room real quick. Okay, so God damn it, reveal the whole thing. Thank you. Okay, so as you guys enter into this room, just give me 1 second. Make sure that everybody on actually the stream doesn't need to see this. This is fine. Go back to this. Okay, so as you open the doors coming up the throne room, you're seen by the first thing you see is this room is just completely just decadent. Just it is the most gaudiest room you've ever seen. And what you notice is in the middle of this room, away from these different this canopy bed, this the same sigils. God damn it, Mercer, and banners. There's a floating crystal, a red crystal, just kind of hovering and rotating in the middle of the room. And you notice that as you get closer, it is completely surrounded by these kind of transparent, glowing runes that seem to be kind of hovering in midair.
Anybody know how to deactivate it?
So, Dara looks at the crystal and says to you guys, "Okay, all I know is we have to," and you see she reaches a hand out, and as she gets close, okay, so Philip, as you slam your warhammer into this thing, very much like Gimli trying to destroy the one ring, your hammer hits these runes, and you are catapulted back.
Okay, so...
And you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you're thrown against the wall.
Don't make me heal you again. I swear to God, I will leave you here.
So she looks to you, goes, Stop! Okay, we have to get rid of the runes, remove the crystal, and destroy the crystal.
Okay. You gotta keep falling apart around us. You gotta give us more than that.
She says that's all I know. I don't. What do you think we should do?
I can speak Common, Giant, and Infernal. Is it in any three of those languages? Are the runes in any of those languages?
Yes, the runes are in fact in Infernal.
What do they say?
They mostly just keep saying they don't really have like a literal translation. You gather that written in Infernal is some sort of warding glyph.
Okay.
Okay. So, to give you guys a little bit of meta-ish knowledge here, this is something I added into the one-shot, which I pulled from 4th edition. This is a skill challenge. So, what you guys can do, the way this works, is there are 3 stages. There is getting rid of the runes, getting the crystal out of its housing, and then destroying the crystal. So throughout this skill challenge at each stage, you guys can come up with something using your skills to tell me like what you want to do to get through that stage, and each of you gets to make a skills check. Now the catch here is you can never use the same skill twice, so it's kind of making you use your different skills work as a team.
Okay.
So she tells you have to try to get rid of the sigils and the runes around the crystal. So whatever you guys think you can use, you can make a skill check. As this is happening, you hear the sound of falling rubble and debris coming from outside the room, as this room seems to be holding for a little bit.
Am I able to rewrite? I'm going to roll Arcana. I'm going to try and rewrite the wards, since they're in a written language, to allow us to leave.
Okay, So
And to release the crystal.
Okay, so Philip is trying to rewrite the runes in Infernal. Bree and Sandwich, what are you guys trying to do?
Can't persuade the stone to do anything.
I mean, you can certainly try.
I'm going to look around the room for something that could act as something that looks like it would interact with this, such as some kind of key object or something.
Okay. So you can make an investigation check. And then, Bree, what would you like to do?
You said this room is opulent, right? Is
Very
there?
much.
I would imagine there's no sort of plant or anything in this room.
Does not seem to be, no.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, you can also use one of the skills someone else used as well. You don't have to,
You cut out. I can use one of the.
Ah,
skills,
microphone, why?
so...
You talk away from your microphone!
Okay, you know what? That feels
ASMR with chili.
very hurtful, and I didn't like that one bit. Rocks fall, you all die.
So, yeah. So what I was saying is, if you want, you don't necessarily have to... You can use one of the skill checks that either Grim or Ash use as well. You don't have to use something different if you want to use one of them.
Okay, so but it isn't. This is a skill check, not necessarily like a. I've never done one of these before, so I'm just kind of trying to think about.
If you have a class ability or racial ability, I'm more than willing to be persuaded to use one of them as well. Or a spell. Spells work too.
So, could I try and use my ability of power siphoning, since the way the class is right now, I can tap into the different realms, and Infernal's one of them. Can I try
hell yeah.
and siphon the Infernal power out of these wards and try and make them inactive?
Hell yeah. Make a Arcana check with advantage. Okay, so
Thanks.
So with the three of you working together, Sandwich, you find, with your investigation check, you find this small book that you begin leafing through, and can you read Infernal?
I cannot, close as I would be, is primordial, but...
Okay, so you recognize the symbols are the same as the runes themselves. So, Philip, you begin scrolling out a different symbol instead of the ones there. And Bree, you tap into your control of the various realms and begin to try to siphon the power away from these runes. So, thankfully, with all of your effort, with your, especially with this book that Sandwich has, I'm assuming you would you show the other two this book?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So as
Especially
you...
watching him try to draw, I would definitely hand it to
Yes.
him.
So as you hand the book to Philip, you immediately read this book, and it shows you how this rune was created, and with that, you are able to figure out how to unmake it. And then, Bree, with you siphoning the power away, it gives Philip an opportunity to break this rune and rewrite it into something different. And with the three of you working together, you see this rune just shatter in midair as the crystal is still floating in its housing. So you need to find a way to get it out of the housing, and then you can attempt to destroy it.
But you insight check to see if there's a mechanism unlocking the housing or anything.
So with an
Or is
insight
that
check,
would that be investigation?
yeah, it'd be investigation. Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything physically holding it, but you gather if you just flat out grab this thing with your hand, it's not going to be a good day.
Check.
Is the housing made out of glass? Can I tell what it's made out of?
So, yeah, I'm probably doing a bad job of explaining this here. So when I say housing, like, it's floating in this translucent looking cylinder, like it's a cylinder of light. If that
Oh,
makes
okay,
sense.
so it's not like a glass jar.
No. Like, you could reach out and grab it, but Philip has a feeling that if you just flat out grabbed it, it's something about this beam of light that's containing it is probably not great.
You're not gonna have a fun day.
Yeah, not you're gonna have a bad time. So what would you guys like to do to try to remove it?
I mean, I can hit the thing.
You can
I-
you can certainly try.
So I can make my skin really hard like stone, guys, and
Oh, hey, you and me
I
both.
could, yeah, I could try and reach in and grab it, but you know, it's probably still gonna hurt.
No doubt.
I need everybody to make dexterity saves.
Ooh.
Just checks.
Saves. Okay, so
Well, I'm fucked.
oh, not necessarily.
I'm wondering if I can move faster than the light could.
Okay, so as you
Snatch it out of there with my.
you guys are kind of discussing this, trying to figure this out, you hear as part of the rocks in the ceiling fall around you. Sandwich and Bree, you manage to kind of sidestep a little bit. Philip, one of them kind of clips you in the shoulder. You only take about 2 points of damage as these rocks.
Oh, hey, look, I'm down.
He's down.
God, come on!
I reach down and I touch Philip.
Okay. It is the Kinky Castle.
As you do that and you bring Philip back to his feet, you see Dara run over to Philip and go, "Good God, man!" and just kind of hands you a healing potion. Good God.
Can I tell what kind of light this is? Seeing as like I don't think I'd be able to tell whether it was like radiant light or moonlight or anything
Make
like that.
okay, so make a. That's a good question. Make an investigation check, and then
Okay.
you can try to figure out what kind of light it is. Philip, Sandwich, anything you guys want to do to help?
Does
with
the
this?
light seem to be like raining down?
It's like a tube of light.
So it's just a solid thing. It doesn't look like you could interact, like put something in to block it.
You could certainly try.
Motherfucker.
It's my favorite thing to say.
It is opulent. Is there a reflective source in this room, such as
hell
a
yeah.
mirror?
Hell yeah.
I have no idea what that light is, do I?
You're not entirely sure, and you're also a little confused because it does have a little bit of a hint of like radiant and celestial. You're like, this is hell. What the fuck is this doing here?
I am going to walk over and grab a reflective surface, look at Philip, and go, "Light reflect! Grab Jim, run!"
Okay, so
This is gonna hurt so much.
I need the two of you to make dexterity checks to see if you guys can pull off this maneuver.
This is not gonna work.
Can I do acrobatics?
I'll allow acrobatics. Okay. Actually, Philip, you can do athletics or acrobatics instead of a dexterity check. That would make more sense, actually. Okay. So, you see as Sandwich grabs this, like, 3 foot by 2 foot mirror and just kind of holds it up and just puts it in front of this light. And as he does, the mirror begins to rapidly heat up in your hands. And as you do that, Philip, you jump forward and try to grab the crystal. And as you do, you actually impact into Sandwich. And as you do, he drops the burning mirror on you. And you only take 2 points of damage as you are hit by this scalding hot mirror. And you feel, Bree especially, you feel Dara just kind of Oh my god!
Do you see what I have to deal with?
Can we just get out of here? You see her kind of starting to freak out. So you have the crystal. All you do is just destroy it. This is the easy part, guys. Come on, destroy the crystal.
We're going outside, and I'm chucking it in some
No,
lava.
I turn into a satyr and I ram that shit and try and smash it to bits.
Okay. Make either an attack or just a strength check with your satyr stats. Which I don't know if I have satyr stats on here.
A satyr has 12 strength.
Okay. And if there's anything you guys want to do to help her, you can. If you want to
Talk into the microphone. I want to hear what you say.
If any of you guys want to do something to help her, now is the
I have a-
And he
time.
still cuts out.
I have a really
Something
big
else.
hammer.
All right. So if you, excuse me, if you want, you guys can combine your attacks into one, and kind of just hit this thing multiple times to see if you can attempt to break it. Okay.
I'll do a ram. 20 plus 3, 20.
Okay. So, Bree, as you transform into the satyr and you sprint at this thing and you ram this crystal, you see it begin to crack, as that would give Philip advantage on it. So with your 12, you hit it, it's cracking a little bit more. So, Sandwich, if you want to take an attack out, you can. You would attack with advantage because of your compatriots and their attacks. Okay. So yeah, pretty much. So
Let my head cross.
these two physical people crack at this crystal, and you see Sandwich just pull out a crossbow and just go, and as it manages to hit at just the right seam, and the crystal just crackles into 100 different pieces, and as it does, with the walls around
Show
you,
off.
so with the walls around you crumbling, you watch as this crystal shatters into almost imperceivable pieces. A wave of arcane energy flows throughout the room as another large chunk of the ceiling slams into the ground between you. As you look up, you see the last of the ceiling begins its fall from the top. You close your eyes and await the impact, but it never comes. Through your closed eyelids, a bright flash of white light erupts in front of you. As you open your eyes, you are no longer in the dreaded pits of the Chain Keep, but back outside the walls of Newsham. Azra looks to you, tears in her eyes. Dayra, I'm so sorry. In a flash of movement, Dayra launches herself into her sister's arm, embracing her. You have defeated Zeglanoth the Keeper, Lord of Shackles. You have reunited two sisters. You have done well.
Bitch better pay us.
That
so
your
much.
mother must have been a freak to go down there and do what she did to have you two. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And Bree walks away.
That keep might not kink shame, but I'm kink shaming right now.
Once again,
I hope Zark calls.
keeping with the trend of the playtest lab, as we conclude this adventure, we pan out as Bree is yelling at someone else about being annoying and charging off into the distance.
Survival is triumph enough.
So, with that, you guys have survived the Chain Keep. You have rescued
Barely.
Dayra. Barely. I didn't think you guys would actually trigger the entire keep. I thought you'd try to be a little stealthy. Alright, so you guys have completed the Chained Keep. Thank you guys so much for playing. I really appreciate it. For all you guys out there watching, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For those watching who do not know, we are Wandering Pilgrim Games. We make various tabletop role-playing game content, such as this one-shot we just played, and the subclass that the lovely Sandrasa has been playing for us. So what you can do is, that is all of our links to Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. We have a Discord you can join if you want to play in the Playtest Lab. I think I also have a website thing on here. I'm not really sure. I'll find it eventually. Yeah, if you go to wanderingpilgrim.squarespace.com, that is our website, which has all the important links, as well as links to all of our products on DM's Guild, and links to Discord. So that's pretty fun. So, before we go, guys, why don't you guys tell everybody out there where they can find you on the interwebs? So
I'm Sandrasa. I am here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sandrasa. I am a creative streamer. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter doing the same thing. And if you join the Wandering Pilgrims Discord, you can come hang out and say hi, and we can play one-shots together. It'd be a lot of fun.
I am once again, I am Oshemi, GM and gamer. If I ever get the chance to start streaming again, you can find me on twitch.tv/Oshemi, either running my D&D games or other forms of video games that I choose to play.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Grim, and I'm a dirty pleb compared to these three, and I don't stream.
We'll
We'll
start
always
streaming.
give you a good smug face whenever you're in Discord.
Sir Archibald, you
Hi.
must start streaming.
Sir Elkin, I will once I can afford the equipment.
Ah.
If Sir Archibald would ever pay free for that last encounter, she'd be able to afford whatever she could.
But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This video should be up on YouTube relatively soon-ish. But again, as Sandrasa said, please join us in our Discord, and you too can play in our playtest lab, where we try out different one-shots we've created, as well as different subclasses. So once again, we have been playing Thicker Than Water, which is a one-shot coming soon to the New Blood Anthology, coming to DM's Guild this November, Volume 2. So it should be pretty exciting. And with that, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll catch y'all later on the next episode of the Playtest Lab.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
I like to say it last. Bear.